I don't know
That
what
would
just
not be the
happened.
case.
Am I actually streaming now? Okay, let's try this. Okay, now it should be up and running. Yes,
Sound
no,
like you're
maybe
struggling
so.
today, Chief. Like for real.
Oh my God. I had I think. Yes, okay, we're good to go on YouTube at least. I gotta mess with the music and stuff because I haven't gotten there yet. I'm gonna hit the go on Twitch button. Ah, I had this conversation. I think Awaz is probably already waiting for us. I'm pretty sure Awaz already messaged to be like, you're not live. I know, I know. I had this conversation with
Oh,
Awaz.
absolutely.
Awaz is definitely slapping you from the beyond.
uh,
With
yep.
what we will not discuss.
Awaz, in fact,
Most
you
likely
gave me
Who
the
it
for
is?
Sonic.
most.
You gave me the Sonic. I'm waiting. Wow, rude, rude.
We definitely know it's gratuitous horsecock.
Wow, rude. I had this conversation with you earlier. It was where I was like, why is it that my family insists anytime I have something to do, they also have to do something on that day? And I don't know why it's taken me so long to figure out. Absolutely, that's what they're doing. How
Separation anxiety.
dare I do something that doesn't involve them? To them, this is great. They're like, "Oh, we're part of everything for you to do." But like realistically, every single one of my streams, it doesn't matter if it's DM Roundtable or Thank You stream or any other stream, I have had to get up to take an anxiety-riddled diarrhea in the middle of the stream every
That
single time for like the past 5.5, maybe even longer than that years. Because my family's like, "Are you gonna do something today? I'm gonna be there to fuck it up for you." And like, they
yeah,
don't
they
have
would.
to do that, but they think that that's great. One of these days, I'm gonna do what I used to joke about, where my mom would be like, "Why won't you come down to dinner?" I'm anxiety dukeying, and sometimes I would just get up from the toilet, open the bathroom door, and scream out of it, "Next time you say come down here, I'm gonna shit on the dining room table!" And like, that's how I feel most of the time.
I'm not gonna lie.
That's certainly a power play.
Hmm.
There's something about the imagery of you getting mad and just like straight up standing up, middle of the, like I can see everyone's face. Like I can see I can see all the faces and I can just see myself in the corner doing the Jack Nicholson face from Anger Management, just smirking with absolute pleasure and joy at this because I'd be like, ah, this is the reckoning. This is the day. And I would rejoice. I would rejoice and I would proceed to change all your locks.
Mm, mm. Listen, listen.
That
What?
might happen while you're asleep.
Awaz, you didn't have to do that. Thank you.
It
What did
was.
Awaz do now?
We got another sub. Oh wait, I
Another
don't have any
sub.
of the things. Hold on. What's all this? They're missing. Why are they missing?
AWA's
Um,
testing the features of the stream as always. Thank you,
Thank
AWA's.
you, Awaz. Wait, did we make it?
Awaz, we're proud of you.
It just went up. Oh my
Oh
God.
no! Up.
That's cool. I just realized all of them are off, and I don't know why. Oh, I know why. Well, the Twitch alerts, correct, and Kofi and YouTube, they were here, they worked, but all the other alerts were turned off because I was filming, except apparently for free patrons. I'm gonna have a bunch of videos that come out with free patrons at the bottom. That was unintentional. I couldn't see that notification was still running. My bad. But thank you. You
Thankfully
guys can all become
sorry.
a free patron too. Just gotta come join the Patreon. That's all. I mean, subscribing with Twitch is also fantastic. But I started this with a big bitch, and you know what?
I
Uh,
started this with the big bitch. Okay, hold on.
the good part of this is that
I like how you
today,
said that, and got the
Refuse
music
to elaborate.
Yeah.
to pop in and play simultaneously. Kudos to you. That was a 10 out of 10.
Today we're gonna do something special. So I run, I do a solo series called Delving into Your DMs, where I talk about things that I've learned about my table that like could be corrected, and a lot of them are things that I wish I learned when I first started DMing, so I could have make my games run better. But mostly it's just me bitching about my table. So we decided last time that
You mean the rowdy children?
we'd all bitch about our tables. So we're gonna do some delving with our DMs. That's us.
This is a special thing today, folks.
Hmm.
I
Is it just
rarely.
me, or is Shin a little quiet today?
Well,
It's
I'm
pretty
not
normal
quiet.
for me.
Quieter than
I
usual. For
feel
me.
like
I'm
I
gonna turn
probably
you
have
up.
you boosted though. Let me see.
You
Do I have
probably
you
do.
boosted?
I thought I had you boosted. Oh,
No, you're at
fix it in a
normal.
second. I'm lazy.
Oh, the jukebox is actually working. Like I didn't set any of that up. I was so happy. I was in the car as we were driving home, and they
There
were
we
like,
go.
"Oh, you're gonna have to do your stream tonight," and I was like, the Paul goes, "Ah, you'll have enough time to do whatever you need to do before your stream," and I go, "I can squeeze maybe half a turd out before my stream, sure." I did
I
not
love
squeeze
that.
half a turd out.
I love that half a turd is too. Again, there is something about this brings me
Mm-mm.
joy.
I was actually thinking, I wanted to ask you guys first before I did it. I was like, I don't have something to visually display for most of these, but do you guys mind if we just turn on the Discord chat?
I mean, I was gonna say we could just leave the thumbnail that you have up for the chat for the video
Could do
on the
that too.
screen too.
Either or, don't matter.
Just replace it with Speedy's image.
I know,
And
I was
just
like, I
cover
don't know
the-
who's going to be there. I just know DM Lacara will be absent, so I gave her a question mark. I gotta get a. Hold on. Let me see if I can do this.
So basically, we just have a Roll20 open just so that we can demonstrate the shenanigans our tables get into.
Oh, mine is mostly
whatever,
issues with the
whatever,
players.
yeah, whatever
Did I
irks you
stutter?
at the table.
Uh,
Whatever irks you at the table is today's
I
goal.
do, in fact, have like a big list of things that I would use normally for delving into my DMs, and I was like, we could like legit go straight down my list of things to talk about.
Go for it. I'm also
It's up to
down
you.
for this. I listen. You could go for one, and we could spitball however you want to run this. This is the first delving with your DMs ever.
It's true.
So, I mean, this is very very loose and free today.
Okay,
We're
I'm
running
gonna
the game.
pop this up on the screen momentarily just so you guys can see. That's not the one that I wanted to pop up at all. Thank you for that. Uh, that's the right one. Oh, I see what's happening here. Hold on. You guys actually want to be able to read it, huh? I'm assuming.
Reading in this Discord?
Ooh, why is it pushed so far? It has no idea how to process a notepad window. Wow. Uh, okay. Okay, hold on. I can fix this. I know what I can do. Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna copy paste some stuff into a right window because the first thing I want to talk about today that you could interpret almost any way you want. But has very specific things in my game, but is super important, I think, for most DMs, is don't always trust your players.
Mm.
Thank you, DT, for coming in very specifically for this. This is technically about you, but what the other players at the table did about you. Like
I
you did your job.
I just want to personally note that this brings me a new level of joy because you are directly identifying to the player. Hey, this
You
right
didn't
here.
even like lubricate before you
This
say
was
it.
the perfect time for
This
you to
moment
show up.
for you, my guy.
and it's not even your fault. You are literally the only person at the table that did their job in the what I want to talk about for this specific thing. Now, there's plenty of things you could come up with at your tables, like don't trust your players if you think they're rolling poorly, like the first critical role scandal thing with the dude who was just fudging all his rolls and what have you. Sure, that could be a thing.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be very mad at most people about this particular one if they're fudging their rolls for like the right reasons. Like as a DM, I fudge my rolls. Not all the time, but if I think something will serve the purpose better and I roll dice and I'm like, ah, it's stupid. Like I will fudge a roll when it needs to be fudged. Okay? I'll be the first one to tell you.
Okay, that's fair.
Like
We appreciate your honesty.
sometimes you need to fudge a roll. Like
Sometimes it's okay to lie to your players.
yeah. And especially
don't consider
because we're behind
I
a
don't consider
screen, I think it's easier
I don't
for us to
consider
fudge
you
them.
lying to them. I ain't consider lying to them.
Ooh, that too.
Because
Deeds,
I think that there is a level of anonymity that we get away with as DMs. I think we're allowed to get away with a certain level of anonymity. Which means we're allowed to not tell our players everything.
Yeah.
And I think that it's not fudging a roll when we do it. Well, here's the thing. I
yes,
got
let's
to I
get
got to
into
take
it.
it from a certain I got to take it from a certain standpoint, okay? So I don't I used to have to I guess fudge rolls in a way for players or against players, not so much against players, but for certain things to happen for the players. Like I sometimes like there's sometimes where like okay, the players have just gotten 6 days travel, no combat. And early on in my DM campaign, in my DMing, when I was just playing like specifically 5e, I think I would get worried that my players weren't having fun, so I would create combat. So I would fudge that kind, you know what I mean? Like that encounter, I would fudge it in a way, I guess is the best way to put it. Now I don't worry as much about it because combat's not my only interaction for players. But I think I do understand the need sometimes to give a player an additional boost or bonus in a way. I've had to teach myself because I hear clubs rumbling in his
Yeah. If Clubs were here, he'd be like, never fudge anything.
But it's true. It's very true. You don't need to reward players for doing badly because a dice is a random generator. I have the same luck that they do.
Yep.
And I had to accept that. I have the same luck as they do. Luck's just sometimes in my favor.
Yeah.
No, that's completely accurate. Yeah.
Like that's just my 10 cents on fudging.
And okay, so at our particular table, Grimjack is the worst roller of ever, and we know now, confirmed, it is because his dice are loaded, but poorly. Because we know this because about 4 sessions ago, Grimjack rolled, I think it was 7 18s in a row. And we were like, huh, that's weird. Normally he never rolls higher than a 10. Like, he uses the same stupid, fat, giant dice every game. Can barely roll higher than a 10 ever. But he rolled 7 18s in a row. And we're like, what is happening over there? And we turn and we see that he has precariously positioned his dice tower at such an angle. Well, not a tower, he's got a tray. At such an angle between two uneven surfaces that it is catching his die on an angle and it's stopping at 18 every time. And I'm like, oh. And you know what?
Wait, hold on. Wait. So he had positioned his dice tower
Yeah.
in a way to specifically land on a number.
Mm-hmm.
Which means he had to have rolled it the exact same way every single time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Fuck it, I would have given it to him at that point.
Yeah. Seeing that he figured that out, now we know for sure his D20, his fat D20 is loaded because he can get it to roll the same thing at the same position
Oh
every
man,
time.
he's purposely loaded D20. Yeah, that's a loaded D20. So here's what I would do in that situation specifically. I would ask to borrow his D20.
We.
And use it for combat. Be like, hey, can I borrow your D20? I need one extra one for combat today.
Mm, mm, mm. The scary part is he's only gotten it to land. Like this is a thing that he did 5 years into our campaign to stop himself from rolling poorly. So he knows that die is loaded now, but it is loaded low. And he's still like, I'm gonna keep using this die. Why? Why?
Listen. Let him suffer a little bit.
Yeah. Why?
I will say one thing. If a player, I have had players fudge rolls on me.
Mm, mm,
I also tend to be a DM that gives absolute trust in my players.
mm, mm,
If
mm,
my
mm.
players tell me, so like, you guys play card now, which, by the way, I saw your message, Okami.
Okay.
Speedy, check the Discord for Cardna. I put up a new post
Oh,
in the
I read
thread.
it. I just have to figure out what my schedule is.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
want to
Okay.
get that generated for you guys so we
Mm-hmm,
can get that talking because I'm excited. But I trust when we play Cardna. I know sometimes you guys want to roll at home. Sometimes you guys want to roll in the Roll20. Sometimes you guys just want to roll in the Discord. I trust all three forms because I trust you guys. That's something that I have to earn in a player because I've
mm.
had players
Mm, mm, mm,
in.
mm, mm, mm.
I played a campaign during the pandemic. It was one of my first times trying to DM, and it was like one of my friends and two of her friends, and I guess they were really excited to play D&D for the first time, and I was
Mm.
really excited to DM them. And in their character creation, I was like, okay, cool. We're gonna roll dice. I had a little camera, I had a phone. I'd done the very bootleg setup of taking another smartphone, clipping it to a desk lamp clip
Mm-hmm,
that didn't no
mm-hmm.
longer have the lamp, taping it on, and like putting it over my dice tray so that they could see my hand when I rolled my dice.
Mm, mm, mm.
And I was doing that so they could see. And I was like, hey, you guys, if you want to show me, your dice rolls, because some of them were like, oh, can we show you your dice rolls? We want to make sure you see it's fair, blah, blah. I was like, cool. Whatever. However you guys want to do it. I wasn't putting anyone on pressure for that because I was like, people wanting to be on camera is an uncomfortable thing for some people. Some people just don't want to do it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
One of the girls in the group rolled her first die, her set of die, and got really low scores.
Mm.
And I guess she didn't like it. So she said to me, oh, damn, let me go get new dice. And she turned off her camera.
Oh.
So I was like, okay, whatever. She got new dice. She didn't turn her camera on, but she was talking. I hear the dice in the background. It's like, okay, these sound good. These feel good. I didn't think left or right of it. You know what I mean?
Mm, mm, mm.
But then magically, I remember her stats. She rolled 16, 17, 18, 18, 16, 17.
Excuse me?
That's pretty high.
That's
Straight
a
down
little
the line.
spicy right there.
And I was just like, wow. I was like, what a freaking character. Like,
You're like hitting the statistical anomaly there.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm like,
that's a
whoa.
strong that's a strong level 1.
Yeah. But so, like, my brain didn't calculate it. So we just kept playing. And as we're playing, I realized that, like, oh, I was kind of helping out the other players on her other two girls in the group with their roles with bonuses because it was their first time and I was still a fledgling DM. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I don't have to help her out. She's just got crazy stats. And after a while, like the game broke down, like they played for a couple of months, and I think the game just dissipated because one of them had to go away to school. I was talking to the person who started it, and I was like, "Hey, did you guys ever want to play again?" She's like, "Oh no." She's like, "But I think so and so would want to make a new character because she told us one night like, oh, she totally like just gave her numbers, herself numbers, and didn't know if you knew or not." And I was like, "Ah, you broke my trust."
Yeah.
I
Yep.
was like,
Yep.
"Don't,"
Yep.
because I get it. I get that when you roll stats, I think Speedy and I can both attest to this because we came into basic and Beck me OSC OSR together. Um, Pretty much. We really kind of came to that frame together with clubs being our DM. And so for us seeing we had running jokes that when we ran down low character numbers, we were just like, this character's already dead. Because we saw the numbers on the sheet as the value of the character.
My favorite one was when you rolled a wizard with 1 health.
Oh yeah, Zephyr, everybody's favorite wizard that is not dead canonically. He's canonically not dead. He's actually become a character that reappears in my own works.
I love that.
He's a character that did not die and left a spell book to one of the better spellcasters in our group.
Oh, that's
It's in that game.
cute.
He left Phil his first book, remember?
Didn't that guy die?
No, he
No,
never
no, no.
died.
Not Zephyr, the one you handed the book to.
No, he never died. He gave it to Phil. He got it to
Oh,
Phil.
that's right. He gave it to Philvindor.
Yeah, he got it to Phil because Zephyr screwed off on you guys after his first mission and left you guys a note that said, "Screw you guys,
Because
you
a
all
stiff
stink."
breeze nearly snapped his neck.
Yeah, but he didn't die.
He lives.
He
Also,
lived.
that you be okay. So one of the actual solo delving into your DMs things episodes that I put out a while back was specifically like the activation threshold and like getting new people into the game. Where like when you have a brand new player, um, you you don't want to be. You feel like as a DM, you just feel like you don't want to square them off of TTRPGs at all by killing them. So like I think every DM does this, even if they don't realize they're doing it. We just are like we're extra nice to the people that are brand new to role playing games until
Mhm.
we feel like we've reached a point where they'll keep playing even if they die. Like
I
we
Yeah,
just don't want to be the person who makes them never want to play another TTRPG.
but I think that that's also us over fluffing ourselves as DM. Not to say that we're not great DMs and GMs or referees, but to say that we are the reason they won't want to do it, I think
Hmm.
is a little unfair to us.
Yeah, it wouldn't be our fault. It was just their
Yeah.
experience it wasn't good for them. Like I hope that the DM that Jackie Jenks had first, where she had only watched actual plays and she just expected to go in having her own like she expected to have the experience that the players of actual plays have, where like they have all these
Uh-huh.
in jokes and stuff on their first game. I hope that DM doesn't feel like he's the one who made her feel like I don't want to play TTRPGs anymore, because that had literally
Yeah.
nothing to do with him.
Yeah. And but that actually brings me to I don't know if you mind me kind of switching a point for a second,
No, hit it up.
because that kind of you brought up kind of like things that peeve you, and to that sub point, players need to remember my biggest pet peeve of a player, and I think my biggest table peeve is when I specifically explain at the start of the campaign, you're not heroes. You're just trying to make it.
Mmm.
Hero syndrome. I get it too as a player. Don't get me wrong. I
Oh
will
yeah.
do heroics. I will do outlandishly heroic stuff. We are all guilty of it. However, that should be for the far and few between if you want your character to live.
Mm,
Here's my question, though.
mm.
How would you handle a player who's going deep into main character syndrome?
You have to. Okay, so I legitimately read a blog entry from the retired adventurer last night where he specifically said, hey, when I'm running a game, one of my games is falling apart. And part of it is that we have all these disruptive, like, we have a bunch of disruptive people at the table. There's a bunch of people that aren't paying attention. There's a bunch of people that are just, like, creating contention for no real reason. And I don't think I have the influence or the wherewithal as the referee to stop all of that. So I have to enlist the other people at the table. And I honestly think that that is like almost a golden rule of the table. It can't be just the DM who's like being like, yo, we got to get on track. You have to get the other players involved. Like my table now, they're all we brought this up, and Dex, he's been a guest player in our campaign for a couple sessions now, and like he's starting to get the in jokes that my table has, or like the references, because Dex loves asking questions. I fucking love that, man. Like, please ask all the questions you need to about the game and the world. That makes everything get fleshed out better. And one thing that keeps coming up is that like Grimjack doesn't pay attention, and then when it comes to his turn, he hasn't paid attention to anything that's happening. But then he's like, okay, I'm going to do all these things. And one of the things that was yelled at him last session specifically was Valley Vajiri was like, oh, are you going to cook spider legs for 45 fucking minutes again? Because that is a thing that happened in our campaign. He was like, I'm just going to describe to you how I cook this one spider leg, and then we'll do the rest of them at the very beginning. Like when I wasn't a good enough DM to be like, yo, you got to stop. The rest of the players were like, when the fuck do we get to play?
Yeah. You have to allow. I think to your question, Speedy, I think the thing that you kind of have to do in a crazy way is you have to remind that player that if they want to charge forward, they absolutely can. But they are absolutely loaded with the consequence of the table.
Mm.
And it sounds harsh, but I will give you a fine example. I'll give you a fine example, and not because they were using main character syndrome, I want to make it specific, but because it could have evolved or ballooned into a situation that was more main character than it needed to be, right? Playing VTM against some hunters, a certain player, while the rest of the party was trying to figure out how to deal with me, decided to insult my character's artwork to pretty much antagonize my characters, my character, right? And in real world, it did absolutely nothing, just to be 100% clear. But I found it very funny because I know that this player is very chaotic in games, and not in a bad way. He's not trying to be disruptive. It's just like his natural instinct is, I want to see how far the rules can bend. Would that be fair to say?
He is in fact a boundary pusher. I'll agree to this.
No, because I don't want to speak out of turn. I want to be very fair.
Listen, trust me, he knows.
So, even when I first started playing with him, I was like, wait, is he just pure chaos? And I was like, no, you're the player that wants to see where does the boundary reach and when does it push me back. So I totally got it. Who joined?
It is a Cubes.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh my god, the person. Yo, what up?
Person we were just talking about. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
You're talking about me?
Well, we were talking about a player a player in one of our groups. We're keeping everybody nameless. So
Okay.
I'm the only one who names all my players.
yeah.
That's because you
Um,
want to throw them under the bus.
So today's episode, just to fill you in. So today we're just talking about like DM pet peeves, things that are from our
okay.
table and our experiences that we've dealt with, either are from ourselves, from our players that we kind of had to like either, or that we sometimes see at table or we've seen on the table and been like, I'm never dealing with that again, and I learned from it, kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
if you can
Um,
offer a resolution, go for it.
yeah. But I brought up main character syndrome
Okay.
and how for me, I hate main character syndrome. It's one of my biggest pet peeves. And that while I'm guilty of it as a player at times for trying to be overly heroic, I
Mhm.
try to explain to my players now, for the nature of the gameplay, that they are to survive and play, not win the game. Kind of deal. It's like, you guys aren't heroes. I didn't write this for you guys to be heroes.
Mm.
This is
Mhm.
written for you guys to adventure, explore, and discover. If you solve the problems of the world somehow through great dice and narrative gameplay, congratulations. But that's not the end goal of the game. Where early on as a DM, I absolutely said to people, hey, you guys want to save the world?
Yeah,
You know?
saving the world is a crazy. I mean, depending on the setting and like the system, some games obviously are set out to be that way, but a
But
lot
I
of them
think
are
that as a
not.
fledgling DM, yeah, but I think as a fledgling DM, I absolutely pitched to some people like, you guys
Mm-hmm,
want to
mm-hmm.
save the world, and wrote a campaign that was like, these guys become the heroes
Mm.
of the universe.
Mhm. Yeah, I think the pitch is super important, and like expectations are super important.
Like that
But
that session like 0.5, way more
yes,
important than people give it credit for.
absolutely, absolutely. But I was bringing up as an example of main character syndrome when a character shifts the entire focus of the storyline or the gameplay for the whole party, and you kind of have to interact with that. I was talking about when I guest played in Speedy here, in Speedy's Vampire the Masquerade / Hunter the Reckoning game, and one player decided to do everything to antagonize my character, even though they were at peace walking in. He peed on my carpet. He insulted my artwork. He tried to catfish my assistant. He did everything he could. Okay.
I don't think they
And
tried. They actually did catfish your assistant.
they did catfish my assistant. So I just proceeded to murder them all in a bloody cold blood of rage. But realistically speaking, I think that if you have a character that's antagonizing the entire group or making decisions that just throw off the gameplay, like you were mentioning before, your player Grimjack Kami, completely derailing the game for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Clubs, I know for you that is like a no. That's not happening today.
Yeah, we
Like,
can't do that.
what's your solution? What? Give us the tale. Because
Well,
I
I
know
guess
you
it
have.
I'm very
depends.
guilty of derailing our games
I
occasionally.
I went for the retired adventurer strategy where like sometimes you need the table's backing as well. Like to fix situations like that, the rest of the table has to also be okay being like, "Hey, we want to play too. What you doing?"
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm,
I just assume that that's the natural state of everyone. Like, if you show up, you want to play because,
Mm.
like, I think the reaction we get. So, I really try. I fail, but I try to, you know, not shine the spotlight on one person more than any other, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
of course.
And I think that like we have 6 people in our group. I know you have a big or 6 players in our group. I know you have a big group too.
Mhm. Mhm.
I think that like the spotlight becomes narrower and narrower as you have more people. You spend less time on each person, but
Hmm.
you know, and the other side of that coin, the player coin, is that the GM shouldn't be talking more than any other player.
Mm.
Hmm.
So there are times in which I want to move things along because there's danger or movement, and I get disappointed in myself with how slow I am in these moments.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
during a fight, I will literally let the party talk for like however long minutes, figuring out what they're gonna do, and I'll literally just buzz in their ear like, "Hey guys, let's go," and I don't really do anything about it as much as I should. That probably has to change for the health of the game, just to make things speed up. But still, I don't want to be talking more than any other player. When we're not in a situation where there's like a time crunch or we're in combat or something, I sort of let the players talk for a very long time about what they're gonna do. I sort of see the game as like, if you're talking amongst yourselves about the game, about in-game stuff, then we're playing. You're
Yes.
engaging with the game. I don't have to do anything. I really want to play a game in which you guys just come knock on my door like I have an office, like, hey, we want to go adventuring now. And then I come out and I say like, okay, like you can run fucking town yourself, right? Like I can give you a list of everything for sale. You can run it yourself. Just be honest with your gold and whatnot and your items.
Again,
and then,
trusting your players goes back to that one.
Like if you getting my players to be like, yo, like Valley of Egeria and DM Bacon, 100%. If we're going to town, I can go, hey. There's actually another point on my board. Like that, as a DM, a GM referee, whatever you want to call me, I don't need to be part of everything. Like you could do your own thing that doesn't involve me, and it's totally fine. The Valley of Egeria and DM Bacon would be like, here's a list of things I want. Should I use the regular prices, or do any of these things need a special price? Other than that, I will do all the calculations myself. Like DM Bacon will just be on the side building a program that automatically deducts from everyone's stuff, and it'll do all the math. And like I don't have to police them or what have you. The rest of the players, not so much.
It depends. Like I think also some, like when you talk to your players, you might even get reactions where it's like, one is like, I really enjoy when we see NPCs and they have funny voices and we have interactions and we go back and forth and have lines. But I talked to one of my players sort of semi recently, and they were like, they agreed with me where I was like, in the future, I'm going to say my one line in an accent and then we're going to sum up the whole fucking interaction, because we have to move. Like we cannot have 2, 3, 4 room dungeon room sessions. We can't have, like we'll never get anywhere. 6 players, 2 rooms, like just not good. Or like, I'm sort of transitioning. I'm trying to transition my game into like downtime, shopping, all that shit happens in chat during the week.
That's even better.
We don't have to play, like we can get into it as much as anyone wants to in chat. And then when we go out for an adventure, then we play.
Oh God.
So
yes,
like,
agreed, 100%. That would be fantastic.
That's sort of what I want. I made that announcement earlier this week, like to the group. Like this is what we're transitioning towards. I also, to go back to like the people talking and the GM talking the least, in old school games, there's a meta player role called the caller, and there's also the mapper, right? So it's like not the character's role, it's the player's role. Okay. So one player is going to be mapping. You don't have to say someone has a map in the game, though we do, by the way, usually, sometimes.
I just got to this post on the Retired Adventurers blog. Yes. Continue.
So this caller I implemented in the past, and it totally did not work, because we had the caller every round, every turn, every whatever, like time frame we're using, whatever round we're in, 10 minutes, 1 minute, combat round, whatever, to check in with the party and see what everyone's doing and report it to me. So this person had to like, what are you doing to everyone? And they forgot to do that. And it really slowed things down, because now we had a caller, but I was still the caller. You know what I mean? We had a caller, but I would have to be like, okay, what are you doing? And then I was trying to get the caller to call. So not only was I doing the calling, I would have to be like, okay, I collected all this 6 bits of information. Caller, could you repackage it back to me just so you learn how to do this? And it was like way too long. It did not happen.
Gotcha.
But I realize now that the point of the caller is not to check in with everyone every round, every turn, every minute, every day, whatever, right? It's to be the person to tell me what everyone does unless they check in with them. And I know this is not the common advice. Like, the common advice is shine your spotlight equally among everyone. But I'm not getting through my game at a decent enough pace to play a game that way. I have to play a game in which we just steamroll as the general rule. If someone has something that they want to do, you speak up. We can't check in what is everyone doing anymore, and I really like to play that way. When we had 3 players, I had such a rhythm in which I'd be like, A person, B person, C person, what are you doing in that order every round, every turn, every day? And I would read it alphabetically, and it would keep me sane, and we would just get through things, right?
Oh, that's nice.
6 people, it takes way longer, because not only do you have to do that for 3 more people, the things get more complicated.
Yeah.
Solving a 3-angle shape is way easier than solving a 6-angle shape. So each of the turns and the deciding what they want to do as a 6th sliver takes longer than as a 3rd sliver. Like, you control a 6th of a machine. It doesn't make you have less to do. It makes you have more to coordinate with. So anyway, yes.
I would also say that, like, changing your not necessarily your modes of communication, but changing the channel of communication also will make everything flow so smoothly. Like, last session for me, every single time I went to talk after a certain point, so I tried to implement one of Brendan Lee Mulligan's rules, which is that at the beginning of the session, before you ever start playing, you say, what do you guys think about for food today? And I was like, that's fantastic, because none of you can pay attention when food is on your mind. Not a single one of you. And the moment I brought that up, Grimjack started a 30-minute supercut of Brendan Lee Mulligan DMing. And I thought he was going to get either tarred and feathered or quartered at the table. But that's neither here nor there. So later on in the day, we did not get to decide on food, because they won't. And I keep explaining to them, you guys can talk about things that you need to do amongst yourselves. I don't need to be part of it. Like, I can jump in when you need me. Like, I'm the one who sets up the order. Sure, when you figured it out, just let me know. I don't need to be part of it. So while I'm trying to describe to people what's happening in this battle against essentially a demigod that they're fighting, every time I open my mouth, someone cuts me off with, but what's food? Like, you don't need to do that. Just talk about food amongst yourselves and then come to me at the end. I don't need to I don't need to be there for all of that. Like, there's if you're playing online, there's DMs. You don't have to talk in the main chat if you're doing it by text chat. You can change the channel of communication. If you're at the table, just turn to the person next to you. You don't have to turn to the table and yell over them.
Yeah.
You could make things so easy. So easy.
I'm going to keep it a buck. That's not D&D stuff. That's just like being nice. That's just being like a nice.
That's just being a human.
Yeah.
That's not even like a D&D problem. That is straight up.
That's
just, like,
decency.
yeah, that's just a decency, like, manners issue.
But I do think that that's something that, like, it's something that I think all of us as DMs, GMs, referees, like, all of us as people who have run games, I think we've all encountered the player that just can't be brought to play the game, no matter how we do it either. And I think that, like, sometimes you get those rude people, and you have to just kind of say to yourself, "You're just maybe I'm just not like the DM for you, man. Like,
Yeah.
maybe I just can't bring you to tabletop."
Yeah, maybe like I can fix him is like just not how it works.
Yeah, it's DMs. We cannot fix them. We can't.
And
We
that
are
shouldn't
not
be our
therapists.
job either. Like I understand we had a conversation at the end of last session. I wholeheartedly believe in the like decompression session after a session. Like I think every campaign should have that. Even one shots, it's great. Like as on a part of Enclave, that's actually part of the rules for the game. Like when you're done, you have your chat session afterwards. I think that's fantastic. If everyone has time, just sit around and talk. And we had a conversation about that last time because I was getting mad that they were getting mad that they wanted me to make things harder for them. I'm trying to streamline, and they're like, "No, make us do more rolls here." I'm like, "You can't. We're not getting anything done as it is. I'm just trying to make this easier for you." But I definitely think communication super important. And if you can just like what you said with the caller, where unless they tell you something is happening, in the D&D context, you guys can have your little side chat and decide what you're doing instead of waiting for us to say, "Oh, we're moving on to the next thing," and then going, "But I wanted to do something. Why didn't you say that
Yeah.
before?"
Well, you know what? You guys all figure it out. You guys have your 6-way conversation. You know, we'll assume it's taking you your 2 minutes in game to have this 2-minute
Mm.
conversation, right? Where you walk down the hallway, you get to your fork in the hall, and you got to figure out which way to go. I'm gonna lean back, and I'm gonna fucking pack a bowl. I'm gonna fucking do whatever I have to do, and I'm gonna listen. And I don't need to get involved until someone is like, "Hey, ref,
Mm.
how tall is the ceiling in here?" Right? Then I have to pop in. I have to be 10 feet. What is it made out of? It's stone blocks, just like the wall and the floor. Okay. Do we hear anything from any sort of way? Well, you guys can listen, and it'll take 10 minutes, and then I need a roll from everyone listening. And then
Mm-hmm.
I just mark off 10 minutes on my little tracker because I'm a little infant and I use a grid to track time. And because I have ADHD, I like can't run anything. Like I boil the game down into procedure and tables and grids and checkboxes,
Mm.
and like I can't be trusted to run the game of my own brain volition. I need to outsource my computing to graph paper.
I use a fidget popper now, and I just pop like I'll leave things unpopped for something that's going to happen in X amount of time, and I'll just keep popping things as I go now. And it took my players like a year and a half to figure out that I wasn't just playing with it. I was like, no, something's about to happen. I know I
Yeah.
wouldn't pay attention. Like I couldn't pay attention to that timer and also do what you're doing.
Yeah, well, so that's the point. Like, all the players, you can talk about the information that you've gotten thus far, or you have as your characters, and I can set up my tracker. I can set up what I need. Like, I know what's in the rooms beyond where you guys are, so I can set that up. I can get my life straight with like, okay, I got to make an encounter roll. They're taking a certain amount of time because I'm not asking, what are you doing? What are you doing? Is your thumb in your butt? Is your thumb in your butt? Is your thumb in your butt? I
Yes.
can just say like, you know, you go this way. Okay, this is what you see, right? Like this happens. And then you don't need me. You don't need the computer engine until you need to interact with anything other than yourselves. If you're only interacting with yourselves, you don't need the computer engine, right? And
Right.
I want to maximize how much you guys are able to talk, you know? So I have these two wolves fighting inside me. The quick, we need a caller and speed everything up wolf, and the when everyone is talking and having fun, that's good game. I don't need to say anything. I should just let that happen. And these are the two wolves I try to balance.
I love that.
If I'm talking and I'm telling everyone what's happening the whole time, it's a bad game. It's a bad time. And I feel it. It's a bad time. No one feels good. You know what I mean? So
I would, yeah, about the computer brain part. I just read one of Retired Adventurers. Obviously, I'm going through his blog. That's why I keep bringing him up. That's like my current reading task. But he has an article in there where he said, like, I'm learning when I'm running games and I'm the referee or the GM or the DM or whatever, that the best thing I can do for my players is to answer every question with another question. And I was like, I feel like that's annoying. But it depends on how you're asking the question. Like, if one of your players is like, is that door open? You can be like, well, it's locked, but you could try it. Or like, it's cracked ajar. Do you want to do something with it? That I understand. Like, sort of give them a little. It doesn't have to be you're pushing them specifically to something, but ask why they're asking that question.
Well, yeah, sometimes you absolutely have to ask why when things start getting so nebulous and it feels like someone's keeping like someone's looking. Like I play online, so I can't see anyone, but some people deliver things to me like I feel like they look cheeky into their microphone. They're like, can I do? And it's like, dude, what the fuck are you trying to do? Like,
Yeah.
what is the end result you want? And I will literally give you a percentage chance whether you can do it or not, if you can. So just be straight with me.
I agree. 100% agree.
Definitely guilty of that. I won't lie.
No, every player does it, and it's like because you being clever is part of that. And if you have a clever point, you're like, I just bundle up this clever that I just came up with, and I need to make sure I can safely deliver it to the end zone. You know what I mean? But I need to deliver you to the end zone, and I can't if like you might obfuscate your own point. You might obfuscate your own plan by creating extra unnecessary steps. Like if I want to do this, how granular do I need to be? And you're guessing at that, but you can tell me, and sometimes I'll be like, look, whatever, dude, you could just do that.
Mm.
You might not know that and set yourself up for a few rolls trying to be, a little more cautious about it.
I 100% agree on the player's side, but I had this argument because I have a mechanic that my players never tried to figure out. They just started yelling at me last session about how I didn't tell them exactly how it worked. And I was like, I would like you to try something to see if you can figure it out, because this is something new to all of you characters. Nobody asked how it would work. You only asked me how many checks you would have to make last session. That's not the same. And they're like, well, you didn't tell us, so we don't know what checks to make. And I'm like, you didn't ask what checks. You just said how many.
Yeah, there comes a point, I think, when it comes to information flow, too.
Thank you.
Where, and it kind of takes that point, I guess, in general. If a player asks me how something works, and it's crucial to them solving everything in the room, well, I'm not there to gatekeep them from entry or play. I think it depends on like what it is. Like, is this mechanic that they aren't using game breaking, or is it just something that like if they just put 2 and 2 together, they'd realize it's 4, not fish kind of deal? I'm asking you.
Oh, in this case, like, I understand. We had a similar argument about how I had. Well, they don't know his name yet. Okay, DT, I know you're in the chat. I don't think you care. I've technically already given you his name. It's just I don't think you guys realized it was the same dude. But, like, you guys are fighting an avatar of Cryonax right now, the Lord of the Frostfell. And when he spawned in, I basically gave him the personality of Hades from Hercules, the Disney version. Where he's very pissed off because he's made a whole bunch of ice elementals. He gave them one job, and none of them can do it. You give all these creatures life, you tell them to do one thing for you after you spawn them, and all of them are too stupid to get it done. And he came in so angry that he pushed out an icy, like, frightened field. A frost aura that nailed people's feet to the floor. He was just so angry. And my players are like, you need to tell us exactly what this field does to us. And I was like, it's not your turn yet. When it comes to your turn, I would expect you to try to move, and then I can tell you what it's done to you. They're like, well, that's not a condition in the book. And I'm like, but it's not a condition in the book. This is his thing that
Oh
I
my
just
God.
gave him.
I watched a video about this. I
just
watched
want
a
them
video
to
about this.
try one thing first. And they're like, no, tell us everything.
It's not your fault.
I know, but it still upsets me.
It's the game's fault. Here, I'm going to tell you, because the culture of 5e has become what you just described, where everyone gets the book, everyone gets the mechanic, and the mechanic. They get the mechanics, and everyone, and because the game has the rules laid out in a way where, like, there's no refereeing needing. Like, they even believe that they can just have like an AI or a computer administer the game, right? Like, so they wrote a game that is supposed to be played that way, right? When you sit down at the table, if you didn't tell your players that you're going to be taking super liberties about things and running things your own way, they are going to fucking check you on it. Like, you're there to run the game to their satisfaction.
Yes.
And I think that's the culture of the game. And when I said it's like the game's fault, like, I'm not saying like fucking 5e blah blah blah. I'm saying like literally the culture of like 5e's culture, and how people talk about the game and how people give advice and how people watch other people play it and learn from them, and Reddit posts and TikToks and everything is that kind of shit. It's like, how do I maximize my character via this way? Well, imagine your fucking GM stepped in the way of how you did something like that. Like, they aren't creating a game in which the GM referees things as they come up on the fly. They're creating a game that has all the rules for everything you need covered. And you just have to administer the rules the way the players know them to be. That's your job. Versus sort of like the older game it certainly had a lot of rules, but it was more open-ended procedure for certain things, and then the rest of the game was like completely fucking open. You have to come up with that shit on the fly, right? And then there's even rules light games, which are specifically like, we're going to give you HP, AC, checks, and combat, and you guys play the rest of the game however much you want. You get in a boat, you got to figure that out. You got to, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But 5e has shooting into water, and I'm saying that OSE and Dolmenwood has that shit too. But, the culture of 5e is that the GM is just the computer brain of the game that administers like combat and tells you if you succeed.
That hurts my heart, but it's true.
Yeah. I watched a video about this.
100% true. Oh man.
Yeah.
That it's not any one GM's fault. It's a mix, it's a mix of the game, the culture around the game, and then like players' expectations because what they see from the game. And even though like we just talked about that they expect the game as they hold in their hands, they have their player handbook, now fucking run this game that I'm holding. But at the same time, they talk about how cool Dimension 20 is, right? And fucking Fantasy High. And he does not run stock fucking 5e, right? He just runs Fantasy High. And that is why the pitch is the most important part of running a D&D game. And I will fucking scream this from the mountaintops every chance I get.
This is a hill that I've watched over the years of.
I slay myself on this hill every time.
You literally spear yourself on the hill on this.
Yeah. This is my hill. And I am staking myself on it right now that if you ask someone, do you want to play D&D, that is absolutely fucking worthless. It's not only worthless, it's harmful. You just fucked up their expectations of your game in almost irrevocably destructive ways. You should not say that shit at all. You should say exactly what you're doing unless you want to run fucking vanilla by the book D&D of the most recent edition using everything.
And buy the book like to the letter.
Yes,
No,
buy the book. Yeah. If you don't say to them, do you want to play, D&D, but it's on a dinosaur island and you guys start like low level and we're not using 5e. Right? Like all of a sudden your expectations are melting away and you sort of don't know what you're playing, right? And you might not even want to say yes to it, but at least it's fucking the truth.
Yeah.
Like I have to work on that pitch a little bit. I just came up with it in a second. I'm sure I can come up with a better one, but at least I'm not leading you astray and
Yeah.
I'm leading my flock astray and setting everyone up for like badness.
So I recently came into this conundrum from an aspect of design as a DM,
You guys are amazing.
just because like I've been toying around. I know everybody here knows. I know you know as well, Clubs, that I've been playing around with like Affinity Publisher and trying to like write my own stuff now. And I I started to get hung up on the idea of like what Mistrin classifies as. Is it OSC? Is it OSR? Is it DCC? Like you know what I'm talking about in terms of like
Yeah.
the wide web of
How do
compatibility.
you release it? What is it? Is it its own game? Is
Yeah.
it compatible with a game? Like that's important. That's
Yeah.
important. It'll inform the design of the game. It'll inform like how do you approach releasing the game? Like it how do you approach
So I
adding things to a game if the game already has what you're adding to it? Like
yeah.
yeah, that's important.
And I found someone saying that I found someone saying online that you can note, and I went back to some of your earlier works that saw how you kind of noted it as well, because I know that you note certain things in a specific way. I went back to your early story game trifold.
Oh no.
Yeah, yeah. No, I went back to it. I keep
Mhm.
everything. And I saw that you noted it as part compatible with, and you listed a bunch of different things, but it was noted in a way that, hey, you can take parts of this and make it compatible with, but this is also
Oh
how you
yeah,
can
yeah.
run this game.
I
Like this
have that
game is to
right
be
here.
made, yeah, this game is to be made to be run as is. Like if you want to run this game, kind of like Dolmenwood. Dolmenwood's like, hey, if you want to run Dolmenwood, it's absolutely its own thing built off the idea of OSE,
Yeah.
but it's entirely its own thing.
I have
But
the fighter pamphlet here. Just to read the actual thing. This one says made for story game, designed for long campaigns, compatible with BX, Spec Me, Rules Cyclopedia, OSC, basic fantasy role playing game, and more. So just letting you know, it's like something to slot in for one of those. But to continue.
no, but that was where I got caught up because I thought to myself, okay, hey, if I wanted to put this out there for someone on the cover, what do I put? And I watched and I went through, and I saw a video and someone wrote, if you're watching, it was like this whole thing. And the guy goes, so you're looking at your cover, you're designing everything, you want to put everything on there. How do you finish it? He goes, put on there what kind of world it is, or maybe what kind of adventure to expect. A high seas pirate adventure.
Oh,
Boom.
yeah, there. I like that.
And I was just like,
A big one is like a level 1 funnel for DCC. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
or
I
level
was
0
going
funnel for
crazy.
DCC.
I was going crazy trying to find what system to attach it to instead of just going to myself, well, what the hell is Mistrin? It was for Mistrin. I was like, what the hell is Mistrin? An island adventure setting for various classic RPGs, and I could easily list whatever the hell I want on the inside, or rewrite that as just a very easy working title. I can rewrite it 1,000 ways, but all I have to do is tell people what the hell they're doing.
Yeah.
And leave it be.
That's
Like you said, the pitch. Boom, it's right there
No,
on the
seriously.
book. Someone grabs the book, says, "Oh, this is what this is about." That's
Pitch
what I
is
wanted.
huge.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Pitch is...
All right, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was just gonna bring up a point of regarding the pitch. I don't remember how I did it personally. If you remember, how did I pitch World of Darkness to you, Shin?
I think you pretty much said it as, "Do you want to be a vampire?" It was a very subtle pitch, and then you pushed into what the World of Darkness was. But I was intrigued by the idea of vampires because you started to introduce World of Darkness very, very fervently. I think you got the books, right?
Yeah, I have the books over here. Yeah.
No. I think you got the books first, and then we're like, guys, check this stuff out. Or
Yes.
did you?
Because
Okay.
I got access to more of the World of Darkness, and the way I explained it to someone I work with now that hasn't really touched like TTRPGs at all, explaining the World of Darkness is like, hey, what if you're in the modern world and every mythological creature you can possibly think of exists, but gaslights humanity into they don't exist. Play as one of them, or the hunters trying to kill them all.
I think that's a very fair
That's
thing to
pretty
do.
good.
I can. Yeah, Vampire the Masquerade is absolutely about hiding your identity and blending into society while absolutely getting shit done.
Yeah,
That's a
the
fair
way I
pick.
describe it, it's less. I always describe it's like for VTM specifically, it's like differentiating the different World of Darkness games apart. It's like, hey, you want to gaslight people and political intrigue? Play VTM. You want to just shred people apart? Fucking play Werewolf the Apocalypse. You want to break reality? Go play Mage the Ascension. You want to be the
Yeah,
underdog? Hunter the Reckoning.
I only
they each
realized
have
Mage
their
the
own.
Ascension was part of World of Darkness literally last night from the Retired Adventurers blog.
Really?
I was like, oh, I did not know that was part of it.
So you don't know about like Changeling the Wrath, a Wraith, and all those other ones that do you?
I learned about those yesterday too as part of World of Darkness.
Okay. I think they're the retired World of Darkness now. I think, but
Yeah, because they're
they
restructuring like the lore and stuff.
that which
So
Lord Darkness is the OG one. But go ahead. Go
I know they're bringing up a 5th edition of Mage the Ascension. I'm excited.
Oh,
that's cool. So I think for like pitch, I love to be so so I didn't really end up doing this because I didn't get to pitch anything to half the players. Like Ryan, you pitched
I did.
to half the players in our game. So I honestly don't know what they expected, and I never
I basically told them, hey, we're going to be doing a new system. It's a little more old school, but we're running around a fantasy forest that hates us.
oh.
Okay, cool. So that sounds good. That sounds good. That sounds good.
To be fair,
I
that
think
forest
that's
really goddamn hates us.
hey.
I think that's fair.
I think we're coming to learn that we're outside the forest right now, and the lack of resources in the outside world of the forest hates us.
Listen,
Well,
but we're not
dude,
being turned to
dude, think about
goop,
that.
being attacked by soup, being accosted
Yeah,
by
well, I wanna-
fungi.
Yeah, I just want to say that you guys are in like a fairly sparsely populated, fairly vanilla fantasy. It's barely fantasy, pretty mundane area, compared to Dolmenwood, which was
Yeah. Wind.
filled to the brim with weird things.
Bro, we almost
I-
got caught up in a gang war by accident between fairies.
Yeah, and then we proceeded to
No,
follow, and now we have problems like getting a giant ogre or troll or whatever the hell that thing was that we slayed, and getting out of a cave.
Your friends.
Yeah, Marrowvore. It speaks for itself.
Oh, the Marivore. Yeah, that's not great.
Oh, well, we don't talk about
here.
It's not great.
we don't talk about the
Listen,
Marivore is something we need not to bring up.
I don't know if you knew this story, Okami, but basically
Oh,
we
he
had a
does.
90%
He does.
TPK into Jello.
Oh,
Oh yeah, we told it on stream.
We had a
We-
save or die TPK. It was pretty bad, man. It was
I
pretty
know we've talked about
bad.
it before, and we talked with Gloves about this, but if your reaction was just the purest, like, Dungeon Master reaction of just, hey guys, I gotta go mute and talk to my significant other about how fucked you are. Like, in that
Say
situation,
that. You inferred the end of that
yeah, but
sentence.
listen, you didn't have to say it. We knew. When you were
I
like,
think
I gotta go for a minute, we're like,
said,
oh,
I
we're
have to
fucked.
mute myself.
But-
And you're
Listen,
like
in-
consulting with your wife. Hey, can I like save these idiots?
I was leaned back in my chair like fucking Scarface.
Just leaning back in his chair,
like I've
cigar
killed
in his
them all.
I
mouth,
asked my
whiskey in his
cigar
other
and I was
hand.
like, dude.
You're fucked.
Let me
He's like,
explain
"Forget it."
what just happened, and I fucking laid it out for her, all the roles that led us to this.
Explaining to my girlfriend that night when I got to bed and just like sat there, phone on, light blurring, and she like turns over. She's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, well,
That's what my wife was doing too. She's like, are you good? I'm like, I got
don't-
turned to jello.
I just imagine you both got into bed, didn't get under the covers, but you're just staring up at the ceiling with the light from your phone on your faces, and like your arms are crossed over your chest.
oh yeah,
No, I literally got up out of my chair and I went by the window and I just contemplated existence.
so the Rolf meme where you stare out the window, that was me. Just
You know,
looking
that
out
was the
the
two
front
of us.
door, just I really got liquefied by by some kind of Jabberwocky in a fantasy forest. This is dope. This is dope. I
And we
got
were
killed
like,
by the hentai monster. This is
fun
awesome.
times.
I got turned to a hentai monster by a hentai monster.
Yeah, pretty much. Now, if I may derail
Oh.
this for a small second to go back to a previous topic that I actually want to get your all opinions on.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was going to bring this up earlier, but then the train kept it going and
Mhm.
didn't feel like bringing
To
it
be
up.
fair, I haven't
Now.
even gotten to the point of why you shouldn't trust your players.
Well, actually, this kind of goes hand in hand with that, if I'm being honest with you.
Don't trust them because they suck. No.
Yeah, don't trust them. So, I'm going to pitch to you a scenario that actually happened to me
Mm.
in a game. And I just want, in your opinion, how you would handle this situation.
Okay.
I will not name names in case I'm somehow found.
Okay. That's fine.
We were essentially having, for lack of a better term, a tournament of power.
Okay.
Like an anime tournament?
More or less.
Okay, go on.
And the round consisted of two players duking it out.
Okay.
The whole point was for them to claim a throne,
Okay.
right?
I'm guessing this is done roll versus roll, like whoever has the higher number wins kind of stuff.
Oh no, it's literally like, hey,
A
throw
regular
your spells
fight?
at each other, try to
Okay.
kill each other.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And the whole point of now, I'm going to see if you guys can also figure out what the point of this challenge is. They were told to claim a throne. There's a throne in the middle of the room. And it's like, hey, whoever wins gets the throne, right? So they're duking it out. One of them literally almost falls and breaks his neck. Because, falling unconscious 30 feet in the air through a rope trick kind of does that, right?
Bonk. Continue.
Only for the round to end when, one player was knocked unconscious.
Okay.
Or so we thought. The other player is resurrected to not be, snapping his neck on the stairs. And the DM goes, no, it's still going.
Wait, you're not the DM?
I was a player. I was not the DM.
Oh, I thought you were the DM too.
No, I wasn't.
Oh.
So
I was the ref in this
Okay.
tournament round, but that's
this
about
just
it.
shook me and I need to restart my hold on. Not the whole
Same,
story.
yeah. I'm like, well,
Yeah, okay.
was the person who got
So-
resurrected, were they wearing like a ring of regeneration or something?
No, it's just more if he was knocked unconscious and didn't manage to snap his neck on the 30-foot fall.
Okay, so it's kind of like he's knocked down to 0, but
Yeah, he
someone
was
can
knocked
pick
down
him
to
up.
0, and they assumed the round was over.
Okay, unconscious, not dead. Gotcha.
Okay.
He was brought back to consciousness, and then this player puts his hand on said throne and says the words, "I claim this throne," and wins the round. The other
So-
player bangs table, literally screams, and attempts to murder said player.
So, player gets up and is upset. Well, first of all, that's not how you deal with things. So
Yeah.
this person, let's be clear that whether they're right or wrong, they didn't deal with it the right way.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I
We
think
can
we
all
can.
agree.
No, I will preface
DM
this
handshake on that one.
the
Yes.
player that got upset has a tendency to be very upset when rolls are low.
Okay.
That's irregardless though, because
What
there still has to be table etiquette. I feel.
what
Yeah.
was the other player's reaction? Like your reaction?
We kind of had to, I think we placated for the significant other of this person who was upset was the DM.
Okay.
DM's significant other got their way.
I think so. It's been a couple years. I'm trying to remember everything that happened.
Okay. Yeah. What would I do if this came up and I was a player? I would
If
eat
you were
my
if you were the DM,
Oh,
If I
Let's
was the
start there.
DM, it wouldn't happen.
yeah. I'd have to. I
Okay,
have
fair
to make
enough.
that quick. No, there
Uh.
would be a. So if the mechanic, you mentioned the mechanic being claiming the throne. Obviously, that's a loose term of whoever I would assume it's whoever sits on the throne or touches the throne and says, "I
See,
claim
here's
this
what's even
throne in
funnier.
my name."
Me as a player in this scenario, I was the quote unquote referee of this, match happening. My ass sat in the throne, but I didn't say the words "I claim it." I could have won by accident.
True.
I could have been
So,
dead.
did you know the mechanic to claiming the throne as the referee?
No, I didn't give a shit. I was the ref.
Wait.
No,
So hold on,
But
but
as the
I think
ref,
what's
you
being asked here is,
No,
were
because
they
I didn't
told?
realize the mechanic. Yes.
So were they told, or was the
The
table
words
told?
spoken were claim the throne to win.
So no description of how claiming the throne works. There was
Hmm.
no mechanical explanation. Okay.
No,
The puzzle was claiming the throne.
correct. And they assumed we have to kill each other,
They assumed we have to kill each other.
or at least knock each other out.
Okay, I
And
gotcha.
the DM didn't, and the DM or the ref of this game didn't clarify anything. I guess my concern or my question comes in here, where you being labeled the referee
I
of
have
the
a question.
round
but not knowing the
without
rules is
knowing,
crazy.
yeah, without knowing how the round ends, puts
Now,
you in a
if this
weird.
makes any more sense as to why I didn't know, the whole point of why my player was the quote unquote referee in this tournament of power, essentially, is because my player tried to rig a few matches from the stands, and that was my punishment.
Okay. No,
Okay.
I have a question. How many rounds transpired between the quote unquote end where the one player quote unquote won or knocked out the other one, and then the second player getting healed, and then the second player touching the thing and fucking saying the thing?
Probably within like a minute or two.
So no, what I mean is like they roll initiative against each other, and 5e is like you roll initiative once at the beginning and follow it, right? And
Oh yeah,
so
so basically they got through that whole combat, or combat ended, and then
okay,
it
then
started.
the person got healed, they stood up, and without initiative starting again,
He went,
they
I claim throne.
I claim throne. She took a step or two. I'm sorry, they took a step or two, and
Claim the throne.
claim throne.
won the fight that they had technically, by all standards, I guess, lost because they had been knocked out, because they believed that to win the throne, you had to win via combat.
Did the GM, when the player got knocked out, did the GM say, "You won"? Did the GM say,
No.
"And the crowd goes wild"? Did
No,
the
they did say the
GM?
crowd goes wild, but then he didn't. When the player got, healed, was like, the round is not over.
Who healed them?
Yeah, that's
The
what I'm
other
trying to figure
player.
out.
The other player.
So the other player,
The player that knocked them out.
It was a cleric
Oh,
versus a wizard, if that makes any sense.
okay,
okay.
and the cleric knocked out the wizard, then healed the wizard. So the wizard said, "I claim this throne."
Correct.
And the wizard was knocked out next to the throne.
Pretty much.
Because the wizard almost cracked their head on the throne or snapped their neck on the throne when
Because
they
he was in a rope trick,
Hmm.
and
Okay.
the
You
know
player
what the
climbed up
problem
and
is?
went, aha, guiding bolt,
Well-
and he got knocked out and fell.
Okay, so the GM said the match isn't over. So then who would have come up next in initiative?
I don't remember offhand. Probably.
Well, it seems like there was no initiative. The
I don't
person
think there
who
was
got up
initiative after
was
that, 'cause
able to.
technically combat was over.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. That's like a real
Again, I'm trying to remember all the details. It's been a few years.
Yeah,
No,
I do this all the time where I use initiative to be like, when someone's like, "Okay, I try to do this before this person," I'll say, "Okay, roll initiative," right?
Hmm.
Like not when it's not even combat,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like to do something before someone. That's what initiative is.
Mm-hmm. I do the same thing.
So if this person is aware of them standing up and touching the thing, like the whole standing up and touching the thing happens during a round, and does it happen before or after the person is able to take a few steps and claim the throne? That is something that I would
I think
roll initiative for.
Because I think the way it works is like, hey, you're up, combat's over, what do you do next? And he goes, oh wait, I claim the throne. Hey, you win.
So I don't like it. I don't know if I would attack someone over it. It doesn't feel good, and I think my issue is really like having a like PvP encounter planned out like that, and then that's probably not something that I do.
I think there's also a certain level of you as the DM or GM ref, whatever, you as the narrator for the story that you're playing, if you're the only person aware of how something works. It's one thing if, like, take when you guys were playing Mistran. You guys were in a room, the water kept attacking you. Mechanically, you guys figured out the more you bother the water, the more the water bothers you. Maybe we shouldn't bug the water. But you guys were also on the path of figuring out that if the water's not there, then there's nothing to worry about. I didn't have to tell you guys that, but your interaction with the room told you guys that. Or hopefully inferred enough to you guys that said, hey, there might be something in here we can interact with. There might be a way through here, but maybe we're not thinking about it. You guys found different things to interact with, so on and so forth.
Were they
lack narrative direction? This seemed like you guys just were thrown in a room and just said, hey,
Yeah, I'm
figure it
guessing
out.
it sounds like this is the very first round that they were participating in. Or did every
This
tournament
was the finale of the tournament.
Oh, so then was every match in the tournament with a different result? Like
Yeah,
did
they
you
were all different rounds. Like different games, different this,
Gotcha.
different that.
I was
Okay.
gonna say
My issue is like I just don't like a game where there's like gotchas and stuff. So I don't like like I said the word first. Like there's mechanics for this. Everything happens during the same round. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's just my point about that.
Fair.
I'm definitely not
think
killing anyone at the table. I was giggling before.
Yeah. Oh
just,
yeah. No.
Just because I did threaten everyone at my table.
I'm glad
session,
we
but-
drilled down in the facts because, like, honestly, the way this was brought up, it was like horrible. And then as we got in, I was like, no, I just think like it's just like not
Just
to my
fucking with it.
taste, and someone overreacted, and you
Mm.
know, it's just like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I will say as a DM, I kind of agree with you, Clubs, though. I don't think it's gonna happen at my table just because the moment
Sorry,
someone
Dex.
gets knocked out, I really do feel like if that's what happens, again, either initiative, some turn order, something is going to happen. And also, if you're just brought back to consciousness, I'm not assuming that you're popping up and being like, "Cool, I'm a-okay to take full
Yeah,
action."
like your brain shouldn't be
What-
working properly.
what about the good old dex check? You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
that too.
well, do I see them reaching for the throne?
I would have at least
Yeah,
offered the other
are you
player something.
hiding it? No, I'm not hiding it. I'm just trying to reach for it. Okay, well, yeah, you see them. Okay, can I try to run? No, they're too close. It's just like, well, then what the fuck are we doing? You just decided that they do it.
Mm.
You know what I
And-
mean?
Okay, also, if this is a real tournament of power, the altruistic person always wins. That's how shonen anime works. How dare you? How dare
That
you
would've
take
been
this
my
away
character
from
development.
Android 17? How dare you?
Yeah. I don't think I would be like one of those people in that situation, but it just isn't so cut and dry for me. It seems complicated. It seems yucky.
I
And
semi.
I'm not above like creating yucky situations. that I
Yeah,
need to
yeah.
atone for the
Nope,
rest of my
nobody's
life.
perfect. Not
Yeah.
gonna say like I'm the perfect DM. I'm gonna say part in a very similar in a very similar argument to before, like just the culture of the game. When my players were trying to figure out how to disable this device that they're supposed to be disabling without actually trying it, I was trying to work out how to make this as streamlined as possible. And I explained to them after we shouted back and forth a bunch of times that, like, I don't want to tell you exactly the mechanics for something happening that you haven't tried to figure out yet. Because if you tell me something and it's something brand new that I've just made up, if I tell you the mechanics, I just know that my players are like this and they don't work, or I need to rework something to make it better, you guys are going to spend 10 minutes yelling at me instead of just playing the game. So it's better that I don't tell you until you try it and we see if it works. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you guys are my guinea pigs. That's just how it works sometimes. Like, your players are trying something brand new. If they ask you a question, you're like, oh, that might work better. Let's go with that. Instead of me saying, this is exactly how it works, I'm never going to change anything. And then when I do change something, you're going to get mad anyway. Like, can we just skip that step? And Dex was there for that. He's like, he's trying to make it easier for you. And everyone here at this table is trying so hard to make it as difficult as possible for everybody. So we can't get anything done. And I'm like, see, Dex understands me and he's played the least out of all of us.
I just had a very chaotic table where this came up, so that's why I'm just bringing this up.
Yeah. Look, my initial knee-jerk reaction was probably overkill when you were describing the situation, but it's often one that I think of all the time. Have you come across the advice, no D&D is better than bad D&D?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's something to consider.
Yeah.
I look, I have things that I'm
I did the clapping emote. Like, yes. The concerned one from your server. That concerned clap. Yes.
man, I have some low points of DMing that I've hit.
Listen, I've sold out my
Thank you, Dex.
principles like 3 times in a row. I'm no saint either, bro.
Yeah, so I'm not like really trying to say that I'm perfect or anything. My very first session was it was Death House. So I made some tweaks to it though, and one of the tweaks was like I really wanted to, for some reason I wanted to manicure the experience for the group and dictate that they like have to go through the whole like first level before they go upstairs. So I added like extra armors that came alive when they went up the steps and stuff, not knowing just how deadly fucking Death House actually was. And anyway,
Not linked to the name.
this has nothing to do with anyone dying, even though someone totally did, but not in this thing. As they're going up the steps, I was like, "Are you sure?" And they were like, "Yeah." And this is my first time running. And then like they took another step, and I'm like, "Are you sure?" And they're like, "Yeah." And they went up the entire steps, and I was like, I lost control. Like I was on autopilot, and I was like, "What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Figure this out." And while my brain's saying that, I are you sured him up the entire staircase, and he got to the top, and finally I had these things come alive. I was like, I have to do it, and they pushed him back down. But anyway, it was terrible. It's like awful. It gives me like the shivers to think about how terrible it was. So that was like my first time. So, and then I had the death waffle, which
What is that?
Aaron was there for.
I was there for the Death Waffle.
The Death Waffle, man, it was one of my lowest points. It was like playing OSE for the first time, and we rolled random treasure, and the random treasure had a scroll and a random spell, and what was it? Oh, it was cursed. Random curse. What was it? Immediate save or die. And we rolled randomly for all of this, and that would have been Jordan's character on our first session of OSE. And in my mind, I like had this like, damn, like I need to make this like them want to play this, and this is on me. I need to convince
We were talking
them.
about that before.
Yeah, and I waffled, and I was like, you know what? We didn't know this would be an outcome, and we all didn't sign up for this, and I feel really bad. So how about you have a frog arm? And he was like, okay, cool. And once he said cool or something, I was like, I fucked up, and I like slammed my face through my window, and I jumped out, and
I remember
I
you
was like,
talking
I'm
to
the
me
worst
about it
person in
later
the world.
on. I remember you talking to me about it later on. You're like, dude, I don't know what the fuck. I panicked. I just like I got frog
Dude,
on.
I panicked. And now, like, these few moments have really informed my like complete true neutral method of GMing, where like I roll in front of people, I I have no hidden rolls, and I absolutely you fucking die. Like I feel bad about it every time.
Yeah.
But like I just gotta fucking
Well,
like you're gonna die if you're gonna die, and I don't. You know, like I
it
really
goes to
offer
our first
zero presents, no presents. No
it
one
goes
gets a
to
present.
argument.
I've never given a present in the last year, 2 years.
No,
Like,
I'm not. There's no more presents.
dude, no one.
Nobody. Listen, I'll put it to you like this. I have watched. We were talking earlier in this stream about like fudging rolls and stuff like that, and like giving players like the benefit of the doubt and being like, like you said, the death waffle. Like we were talking about at the beginning before you came in, and like all those things, like I think kind of even bring it all back to the point that started this whole conversation, which is don't trust your players. I think the other side of that point is to have your players trust you as a DM, just be honest. Just let what happens at the table happen. Like,
Yeah.
have an honest game with your players, and then if your players aren't honest, well, yeah, then you got to punish them. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, obviously, trust your players with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
But if you're upfront, they should be upfront. Like, if they want, and if they want to lie and hide stuff from you or manipulate the game in ways just to make it fun for them, at the end of the day, you're taking away from the soul of what D&D and what tabletop RPGs are, which is collaborative storytelling. If we're not collabing and it's just telling your story, well, we don't have to be here.
That's how I opened up my most recent campaign that I'm running with my group, and two of you are aware with how crazy a few of the people in that group are.
Yeah.
I opened up this campaign with like, listen, I know we enjoy shenanigans, but if I'm explaining something, I have two main rules, one of which I actually learned from a like 9-year-old bullying me in D&D.
Oh, the divination child.
Yeah.
The divination child, yes. So I have two main rules when it comes to like stuff like that. I'm like, listen, if it's absolutely crucial to the plot, what I am saying to you, I don't care how cool or whatever badass moment you want to have. Fuck you, I win. I'm God. The other rule is if you have a way to change fates, make someone re-roll or whatever, if you wait until I finish yapping for 5 minutes, I don't give a shit what you say to me. You cut me off and go, no, you're not doing that. I'm like, all right, cool. Because then I yap, and then I have to, swing because my throat hurts. And he goes, yeah, no. I'm like, well, fuck you. I already yapped, so now it's happening.
Yeah, I do think certain things like that should be called before the result. Like,
Yes.
okay, kind of like Magic the Gathering. Before this resolves on the stack,
Yeah.
anybody have
Yeah.
anything they can
Me
do?
yapping is the stack. You have to instant right there, or it happens.
I think it's kind of fair.
Yeah.
With different situations, if it's like completely rewriting everything I just did for 5 minutes, then I'm like, screw you. But if it's a small thing, it's like, oh, I want to just double my damage. All right, cool, whatever.
Well, I would give it to like the state of like, if the players think they've lost to the enemy and I've gone and like I've decided this character has some end monologue, whatever. Like I've written him that way, right? And the player in the midst of that, or like I take an action that they don't know I'm going to take, like they go to fight the enemy to stop him from doing whatever, they don't know what the ritual is, and I pull out an amulet and I start to chant, and the player who's a bard is like, wait, I can stop all chanting. And in those 3 minutes of that conversation, he realizes he can stop me right there. That's fine. Because his action cannot take place unless I've taken an action. Like that's an interaction. But if it's
that
like,
I agree with, yes.
That'd be initiative. Like
Yeah,
that
basically.
would just come down to like I literally break things down into rounds, turns, or days, and that's like how I play the game. Like we sort of don't interact with the world outside of those.
Yeah.
But
I can agree. I can agree with that. Like, don't wait till I've said everything and then be like, yeah, but you forgot about this cool thing I picked up at the beginning of the game.
Oh, you've
It includes my
description.
description. When I describe something's happening, I only give you one round of what is happening. They come in, they say a few lines. I can't give you a whole monologue. I don't ever give you a whole monologue. I give you one round at a time.
Yeah, that's true.
Like no one goes up an elevator, scratches their balls, sings an aria, welcomes you to their house, polishes silverware. Like no one's doing all that. They're just doing the one thing. The elevator starts in the distance. I'm gonna roll a d4. It gets here in 2 rounds.
The entire intro fight scene just is taking rounds, so you're interacting between each moment. Yeah.
It's the rest of the players are just like the rest of the PCs are just off to the side watching this epic battle happen. Like they're at Godzilla and Mechagodzilla's feet, just watching it happen.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Man, but still, that doesn't mean like I don't fuck everything up.
Everybody nobody's perfect, and like
everybody goofs.
I also feel like it's not specifically related to this point, but it is related to DMing. I think most people who haven't DM'd yet think that, like I keep seeing Reddit posts about this, like, oh, I'm so scared to start because I don't know all the rules. I'm so scared to start because blah blah blah. But like, I think people don't realize that DMing, like anything else, is a skill. Like you get better as you practice at it. You don't just start good. Like
nope.
The chances of you starting good are so infinitesimally small.
Yeah.
No, and also what's helping me is find a system that exists. There's God knows how many. Find one that you can comfortably yap about even before you know the rules. If there's a specific system that is relating to a certain universe, world, whatever, that you can yap about, go for it. For
Mm.
Yeah, you
example,
should absolutely find your
I'm a
flavor.
huge Star Wars nerd. There's Star Wars D&D. Ta-da!
Aw, thanks, man.
No, I absolutely agree. You should find your flavor because going back to the pitch and everything else we've talked about tonight, in terms of how you want to set stuff up with your players and yourself and everything else, find your flavor that you're comfortable with for your first game. It doesn't have to be D&D just because you watch Critical Role. Maybe you'll
Or Stranger
stumble
Things.
upon, yeah, or Stranger Things. Well, yeah, now Stranger Things is big because the finale and everything. But like if you've only come across D&D because you love Matt Mercer, you love Brennan Lee Mulligan, or you thoroughly enjoy the
You're big into
sounds,
Sadie Sink.
yeah, you're huge
Mm.
in Sage. Yeah, like if those are the things that brought you in, hey, cool. But that doesn't mean that has to be the one thing that you decide to play your first time. Maybe you'll find VTM. Maybe you'll find Mothership. Maybe you'll find ICRPG. You might find Mice Ritter.
Leadership.
You know what?
You might find Mouse Ritter and be like, yo,
Ooh.
tiny mice on a scale of 1 to 1 doing mouse shit. That's my jam.
Mm.
Maybe you read Redwall as a child or something.
Yeah, like it doesn't even have to be a straight system. It could be like, oh,
Yeah.
you know what? I read this. What am I thinking of? Blah, blah, blah. That fantasy series that has like 10 billion books and they're all about cats. I hope someone knows
Dude,
what I'm talking
if
about.
you would have said owls, I would have sort of known
Thanks
what
for
you're
the
talking
follow,
about.
Cthulhu.
Oh, great.
And if you
Cthulhu's
would've-
following us.
You know, it's not every day you get a dark god following you.
It's true. Or Chronicles of Pern. That too. Like maybe Chronicles of Pern is your. I think there actually is a Chronicles of Pern role-playing game. But I.
Hey, maybe you'd enjoy Cloud Empress because I sure as hell didn't. Just
Like there's
sorry,
plenty of ways to get
Cloud
in.
Empress was rough. Cloud Empress was really rough.
Oh.
Cloud Empress.
Yeah, I
was
didn't know
rough.
what I was doing.
No, I don't blame you. 'Cause I read through it. I've been reading through it again and again to try and understand it. 'Cause I
Oh, you
played
mean
it.
like just like fiction wise or whatever?
Yeah.
Mm.
And I was just like, this is such a weird attempt at a Miyazaki world.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
I mean, hey, have you played the Dark Souls board game as a TTRPG? I have one time. It didn't end well.
I will save my rant on what the Dark Souls TTRPG as an idea is to me
Mm.
for another day. I will
Fair.
simply say that
It's
in
a
a
masochist
game,
wet dream.
no, in a game in which character's life should be finite, like a tabletop RPG should be, or
Mm.
normally is created.
Yeah.
Implementing a system in which you infinitely revive. It seems cool, but it eliminates player agency because, and I get that in the board game, there's like a finite number of times you can before a character dies, stuff of that nature. I understand they've tried to limit it, but I don't like the idea of telling a player, hey, you're allowed to just do whatever because the first time you die, you're just gonna come back. Like I don't like the player knowing that they could die or do whatever, and they're just gonna come back eventually anyway. Like don't worry about it.
Yes. Okay, so at my table specifically, we're like 3.5 years into the campaign, and we're like 5. This is in the past, and Grimjack looks up from the table and he goes, "Well, we all have stories, so that means none of our characters can die." And like, I just looked a little bit up from behind my screen, and every other player at the table was sitting up straight, just eyeing daggers at him. And they were like, "Oh no, we can all, don't kill us, please," at him, not at me. And I was like, "Yeah, man, like you might have a story, but if you die, your story's gonna continue without that character. Like things are happening, you've influenced some stuff, but like you can die for sure." And he's like, "Oh, I don't really believe you, but okay."
The story
like-
may continue. Your chapter will end.
Yeah.
Again, you're not the main character unless I said to you when I pitched this game, "Yo, man, you in particular, this whole game is to glaze you.
Yeah.
This whole
But you
game
gotta
is
be
just
Frodo.
like you are
Yeah.
Frodo. Bro. You're Frodo. Everyone is Boromir. Everybody's Boromir. Okay. There are no Aragorns. There's no Samwise. You might find a Samwise. Everybody's Boromir and Pippin. Not even Merry.
Oof.
Pippin. Like
Pippin's funny.
cabbage. He is funny, but your cabbages and decapitation, bro. You've got no purpose. Okay, Elsa. Then yes, absolutely. I would be remiss to kill you as the DM after I've told you that you are the golden glaze. You are the glue that holds this campaign together. Like and like I can say that from as a player who has locked himself into a role consistently for characters,
Hmm.
it is a side effect of that where I determine that someone must make the sacrifice and decision to play the character to keep everybody alive. No,
No.
that was the worst mistake I did, and I hated it.
Mm.
And Clubs knows this firsthand. But
Fuck
I
'em.
learned, I had to teach
Yeah,
myself,
fuck 'em.
yo, it's not my job to make sure everyone has fun because that's what the DM's going to do. The DM is there to have a game for me to have fun.
Yeah.
It's my
Presumably
job.
everyone's just having fun, or else
Yeah,
you wouldn't
hopefully.
have come.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If you're there, you should be having fun. And when I took that, when I remembered to remove that restraint from my brain, and this was a restraint I created because I was afraid of what the min-maxing world of classic D&D had taught me. I will wholeheartedly put this on myself. This was my own fault. Like because this was no one's fault. This was my fault for being so afraid of losing a character until I kept losing characters. And I was like, wait, characters
Mm.
die. And then I realized, oh, there's ways to keep characters alive. But then I was like, yeah, but everyone's aware of this. Why did you make it your job?
Mm.
And then once I released that last inhibition, I felt the rain on my I felt the rain on my skin.
I
I've been, I've been living free ever since, but
Retired Adventurer has a blog post where he's like, I know that one of the most difficult things you can do in a game is come up with a reason for players' characters to stick together. Like, sometimes you're all coming in from disparate backgrounds, disparate areas, and you don't really have a reason to come together. And I saw a Reddit post a couple weeks ago that was like, oh, whenever I start a new campaign, I make sure that like every character, every PC in my party has some link to another PC. I'm like, I don't think you should go that far, but like you can tie something in that maybe they worship the same god. Like it doesn't have to be as overt as some people are making it, but I think it's honestly, unless you're all evil characters. If you're all evil characters, I totally understand how difficult that's going to be because you're all selfish, most likely. Like all of your goals are for you and you alone. I totally understand why that would be hard. But like if you're even neutral or just good-natured characters, probably some things that you both want are going to be easier to find than you'd think.
mm, mm.
Or
I
you
think,
could get
if
lucky
you-
like I did with Jack DT because he doesn't know the difference between East and West. And then I can snap two characters together.
What were you gonna say, Clubs?
Oh, I don't know.
I will say though that like again, you kind of have to, you just have to have fun.
Yeah.
Fun. Like I really think it boils down to, not trusting your players. That was our big point. But it really kind of just is things that take away from fun at the table. I
Yeah.
think we did a good job. I think we did a good job of delving into things that just take away from the point of the table, which is fun.
Yeah.
We're
Well,
Go ahead.
Sorry, go on. No, I didn't.
No.
I didn't. Sorry.
No. Go.
Like
Go.
Jimbo's Grimjack's loaded dice, him rolling them the fact that he figured out, okay, we're 5 years in. He's just now realized what we've been telling him, that something's wrong with his dice. But the fact that he figured out how to roll, I let him keep those 7 18s in a row. I was like, okay, now move your dice tray. Like good on you. You should probably use another set of dice. The fact that he's now like, oh yeah, no, I'm gonna keep using these crappy dice that are clearly loaded. Like, that's
And
on
you're
you,
like,
man. Like, that's not on us.
Not today. No.
Yeah, that's a different level of. I can't. I'm not gonna.
But to get back to my very original point, it does involve Jack DT, and it's that I'm gonna say 3 or 4 sessions in, I asked. We still have not gotten there, but we will now. So, to Jack DT's character, he's a ranger in our group. So, like wisdom is his stat, one of his main stats, along with dex. Hi, dex. But 3 or 4 sessions in, I said to my players, who's got the highest passive perception in the party? And they start talking amongst themselves, and they look at Jack DT. He says his number out loud. I don't remember what it was at the time. He says his number out loud. They're like, well, you're the ranger. Your passive perception is probably the highest. For the next, I'm going to say 7, 8 sessions, this is accepted. Whenever I say, what's the highest PP in the group? Tell me your PP, like, whoever has the highest, tell me what it is. The group would say for the next 7 or 8 sessions, it's Goblin Slayers, because that's the character that he's playing. Goblin Slayer has the highest PP in the group. And then he says his number out loud again, maybe like 8, 9 sessions later. And Valley of Ageria turns to him and goes, hey, my passive perception is higher than yours. And instead of the table being like, oh, we've made a mistake, she turns to me and starts screaming at me that I've been doing this wrong the whole time.
Well, that's terrible.
I was like, that's not my fault that you guys all decided. Like, why should I, if all of you are talking about your things and you're saying your numbers out loud and what have you, like, you guys should, as a group, have figured this out. Why is it on me to constantly be looking at all of your sheets?
Yeah, that's just suboptimal play, and it's your play, not mine.
Yeah, like, I have so much other stuff to do. You want me to look
I've
at
been
your
like,
numbers?
Do you have that item on your character sheet?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
When you brought up the amulet thing earlier, I was like, your players read their sheets?
See, most of the time when Clubs asks that question regarding to me, I normally absolutely am sure I have it because I gaslight myself somehow, and then I look at my sheet like, shit.
Yeah.
It's just more of brain go, and then I just accept my fate because I.
What about when 2 people say yes?
Oh, that's my favorite.
Oof.
But now, hold on.
And I go,
Or, like,
okay,
did we
so who
duplicate
has
this?
it? And then no one has it.
Yeah.
Or when we're really trying hard to figure out a bank note for no fucking reason.
Oh my god, did we ever? Yeah, the banknote that got left on my
Banknote.
glorified body.
The banknote that we came to the sole realization none of us had, because nobody would remember who opened what. And none of us, and that was a fault of our own. It's not a fault, because no fault was that on Clubs for us not noting something down.
Yeah, that
It
was
was
us.
entirely us being like, and we were on a track, but then I think at a certain point we were like, yeah, fuck the track. It is what it is. Like, it hurt, but it wasn't. I think at that point we were just more dejected of having lost the same amount of gold several times to bring home pennies.
Honestly, you
I
guys
think
should have
the
been
session
level 1.
before literally got robbed.
And honestly, we did get a great deal out of it regardless. At the end, we got an even better deal than we should have gotten. So to be fair, that was your last gift.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
You did give us the present in the past 2 years. That was the last gift you've given us.
I can just screenshot that. Thank
We
you.
didn't have to
Amos.
completely restart. That was your gift to us. You're like, you know what? These morons almost all died. One of
I
you.
recast everyone.
Yeah, and now you have.
And next
You have a
session,
very interesting party.
Dude, you know what my
and
pet
next
peeve
session,
is? You want to talk
community
about pet
recalls.
peeve shit?
Yes.
My pet peeve is when multiple players in the same fucking party name themselves similar sounding names.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Bro,
Yes.
dude,
Yeah. Please run it
Drin,
out.
Jin,
Run it out.
Odrin.
Wait,
Are
one of them
you
was just another one's
mental?
name
I'm
with an
gonna
O in the
die. I'm
front?
gonna have a stroke.
The name.
That's
So
just
our
mean.
players have created no. So our players have created brand new characters, and the collection of character names currently in our party. Hold on, let me open the document because it's
Oh
been a
my god,
while.
yeah, literally. We have
Okay.
Drin, Odrin, and
We have Violet. We have Call. I am Call. Known as I am Call. We have Violet. Then we have the awesome, oh so lovely combination. Hold on, did I just lose it? Don't tell me I just lost it.
Oh no, because one of them changed their name because he kept getting confused.
Yeah, I think we did recently go through a character change.
Confused
Yes, here we go.
himself?
Jin is now Odo.
So we had Caw, Crump,
I am
Drin,
Crump.
Odrin, no, Jin, Drin, Odrin.
Oh my god.
Caw, Crump, Violet, Jin, Drin, Odrin. Caw, Crump. At least we can get away with being two different sounds, just both starting with the C.
Yeah, because there's Caw Crump.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna call them different names. I'm gonna call Drin. What is it? Odo.
Yeah, Odo, because he changed his
Odo
name.
is like his middle name,
Yeah.
and Grimholt is Odrin's last name.
Ooh,
Yeah.
So
that's a
I'm
cool
gonna
one.
call them Drin, Odo, and Grimholt. That's all I can do.
Now,
Yeah.
if I may make a suggestion, what you should do is this is a real thing that happened. At one point in a class we had 3 Johns. And they refused to use their last names.
What
So
the hell you do?
they were referred to as John, John, and John.
Not too much
Interesting.
work for me.
Interesting. We had like 57 Steves at New Paltz. So they all got
Leave her alone.
we had like Ninja Steve, we had Black Steve, we had White Steve, we had Big Loud Steve. Everyone just got an adjective or a bunch of adjectives. Round
think
Steve.
I think in the case of D&D or tabletops, you just get to nickname the player.
Oh yeah. Like I'm trying to think. A bunch of my players like don't go by their actual characters' names. Like Goblin Slayer, everyone in world calls him GS. Like even the party, and Nara
Hmm.
never uses her full name. It's always Nara.
Yeah, I think that's a fair pet peeve though, Clubs. That's a
Oh yeah. That's rough,
that's
buddy.
I thought
Dude.
he was going to go when one of your players is obsessed with bread.
No, I don't mind that.
No, you gotta understand, Clubs is cooler with the silly shenanigans than he is the absolute time wasting. You guys can't. I feel like you hate us more when we can't get through a room, like you said before. Like,
Mm.
It's more like we can't normally get through a room without either taking 30 minutes to figure out what room we want to go into, or somehow a certain somebody always somehow almost gets us all killed.
it's not all his fault. It's just really.
It can't be
It's
all
like
his
75%.
fault.
It's
Yeah,
really just he's the first one to do something.
I think he has like communication scrambling technology where when he talks and he is about to give a plan, he like presses a button and everyone else goes silent for the next 10 minutes and we just like it's the only thing we get is his plan and everyone else being like fuck really like and that's what we get. We do his plan. Like everyone else just like bows out. Like someone has a plan, be silent. Because we don't have plans. Do you know what I mean?
I think
Yeah.
we've gotten better.
Yeah, I think he's definitely gotten better. In the
We
beginning, it
definitely
was
got
very
better.
much like that.
So he's
Oh, in the
he's
beginning,
the what is his name? Is it Edgin from the D&D movie where he's like, I have 5% of a plan, and everyone else is like, that's not a plan. That's not enough. he's like,
Yep.
well, it's all we got.
These plans are very much
Self-centered.
relying on luck most of the time. Like they're not
Self-centered.
planned.
And the plan only truly benefits him if the luck goes the right way. Like, he's calculated in the silence before stating the plan how to make the plan sound better for the rest of us.
Yeah.
So that
It's
when it
always
does
delivered in a like
for us,
shady
it's
way
not
to
like-
you
Yeah,
guys.
it's always delivered in a way that's the betterment of the party. And it took me a while to realize it and then start speaking up more to being another plan. It
Yeah.
worked out that at one point, my character and his character were both alignment opposites, and the rest of the party was neutral. So it was just one chaos, one lawful, and 4 neutrals. It's just, I really think the party was a bunch of chaotics that didn't know they were chaotics. 'Cause everybody absolutely was not listening to the lawful, man.
Yeah, he's a hobbit assassin.
Yeah, he went from being a thief to a hobbit assassin. Well, he went from a drunk to a thief to a hobbit assassin.
And now we have a drunk cleric.
Yeah. But you also have an alcoholic. You also have an alcoholic
Enchanter.
thinker. Yeah, you have an alcoholic over charismatic bard. I rolled
We
a
do have
natural
an over.
18.
We do absolutely chisel jawed elf who keeps trying to get the doughboy drunk.
No, you have to
I like
understand.
that.
In the nature of being honest and truthful, I rolled all of my character stats in front of everyone. And the stat that I rolled for my highest stat was my charisma stat at
He
18.
maxed it out.
And we
I
do
got-
46 drop the lowest, but he still got in order 18 on the last one. So he
Oh my
earned
god.
the maximum charisma a fucking being can have.
So I naturally went,
So like
okay,
non-enchanted being.
yeah. So I went, okay, what are the charisma classes? Or the charisma the class that use charisma. There's really only 2, Bard and Enchanter, which are kind of, I think personally,
They're kind of similar.
Yeah, they could have been blended into one character. Personally, in
No,
my
I like the
opinion.
Enchanter. I mean, now that
It's
I
like
understand
the
it.
flavor of
What?
I think it's like the flavor of it because Bard is the performer, while Enchanter just feels like a weird Fey-based warlock.
No,
Yeah.
it's you say warlock, and that's pretty close too. But I think it's the fairy cleric.
Yeah.
It's a
You know
D6
what, I could see
hit
that.
dice.
Yeah, it is the fairy cleric because you're semi-martial.
Yeah, and you don't have to like have faith in anything.
Well,
You know
because
what?
the
Yeah.
Fey classes in Dolmenwood are so in Dolmenwood, the game that is made by Necrotic Games, just to kind of give them their shine because we do play it. In Dolmenwood, the Fey classes are unable to pick any holy class or connected to one of the church like the friar or the cleric because they can't have any connection to the divine, essentially, whatever their divine entity is. So I do think you're correct in that. That's why they do have access to the enchanter, which is a connection to pure Fey, where humans can be Fey, but I think it says that non-Fey or demi-Fey creatures have to kind of have a reason as to why. And like you could just give them a reason, obviously, if you want to as a GM. But I think
You're a fairy.
yeah, I'm a fairy. I'm an elf in the game. And elves' natural bonuses against mortals, since I'm an immortal creature, I have a natural +2 charisma bonus talking to
because
mortals.
You're hot as fuck. Don't lie.
Yeah. So my natural
Yeah.
18
girl.
against any humans becomes a nat 20 of a charisma. I have a unnatural charisma.
He physically can't fail a charisma roll
Yeah, versus
against a
humans,
mortal.
mortals literally have to fight me to the bone.
And he has a glamour called Sway the Mortal Mind. Where
Oh,
he
yes,
can, like,
that's the
charm
other thing.
mortals too.
And I also have another ability that lets me speak any language. This is all random. I rolled all of this at random. I literally rolled the most.
He's literally the face of
charismatic-
the party by sheer virtue of he can't
Yeah.
fucking lose.
That is true.
Oh,
like,
that's true.
they sort of have to tap you in eventually. Like if it's
Oh
dealing
yeah.
with mortals or even fairy, like
Hmm.
they got to just tap you in.
Yeah, I'm there. The party, and I play that in my character where my running joke, I always say to clubs and I say to the party now, like, my job is to make sure you guys stay alive so that I can use you as meat shields.
Oh,
Like
Yeah.
my whole character's premise is he's trying to find a new wife because he wants to make money. He's poor. He's a level 1 adventurer when they first meet him because he's never had to adventure. He's only story-wise, he's only adventuring because his last wife, his last mortal wife is gone.
Oh man, because he's old.
Yeah.
mm.
Because like he's just like, I guess I gotta get me another one. He's like, I guess maybe I'll try this adventuring thing.
Yeah. I mean, so I'm reading the chat. Lakara, no, this is not like every one of Shin's PCs. This is probably one of the more
Okay,
tame ones.
okay. Not all of my PCs inadvertently charm the pants off and or are searching for a wife,
Hey,
Lakara.
Shin, would you like to explain to DM Lakara how you complimenting me nearly got us all killed?
Okay,
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
okay. I don't know which dog first.
I do.
I don't know how anything I could have said could have ever possibly gotten you even close to murdered.
You don't remember when a certain chaotic cleric threw a compliment at our vaguely morally dubious thief and it summoned chaos?
Oh.
You know what you did.
Okay. So for context, I had a character in another one of Club's games because again, I've been playing with Clubs for like 8 years now this year. Um, Crazy. But quite literally, my character, in an attempt to go from chaotic to not such a terrible person, found out that him doing non-chaotic things may or may not have triggered all of chaos to him like a beacon, like a lava lamp to flies or flies to shit or. And I knew that, and I tried
Mm.
not to do it, but then we did something, and I looked at Speedy's character, and I was like, "You're a good man," which
And you didn't even, it just came out. You didn't even
yeah,
mean it like
I
that.
didn't mean it, but like I was just trying to be in character, and I was
And
too
then
in
suddenly we
character.
see in the chat, clubs rolled something. We're like, what the are you rolling?
And it wasn't a hidden thing. Close had clearly said to us, he's like, dude, when you do kind things, it kind of shifts the nature of chaos the wrong way. They don't like it. And I'm
Mhm.
like, oh yeah, it does.
I have like a little Paragon scale for Candir on a index card on my desk still.
Renegade for life.
Aww.
That was
No,
one
but
of
it
my
was so
favorite
funny because
characters.
after that moment, I literally was like, listen, I need you to be nice to me, but just be a dick about it.
Yeah, I had to find backhanded compliments.
And I'm just like, I remember the first time you did it after we had that whole conversation. I'm like, hey, wait a minute. Oh, wait, you're saving my life. Never mind, you're good.
Dude, Car, you have to understand that Benny and Reggie, my characters in Enclave, are literally written around the idea of just hyper charisma. So yeah, Caw is just like that. He's hyper charismatic. He's just, it's
But
not
he
his
was
fault.
rude.
It's not their fault. That's all I can say.
Kind of missed the ball.
I think I gotta do more. Apparently, I have to play more strong characters. That's apparently my shtick these days. These days.
I like a nice strong character.
I
I like
I can I say one thing that I thought was going to be one thing that I had to learn was not what I thought it was since you're here clubs. I had to learn how to appreciate the style of character you play.
what does that
Because I
mean?
didn't so I didn't understand the first time you introduced Swordsman when I tried to run my desert campaign.
Hmm?
When I was doing my one shot, you were like,
Yeah.
give me a straight up character.
Yeah.
And
I
when I
just want to
first
be me.
yeah, I didn't get it at first. And after playing for years and like really understand like decoupling the pre-attached storylines and like things like that, I started to really appreciate when I played one shots with people who made characters just like that, characters who were designed essentially for to play the game and figure out what they're doing after.
Oh yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
that's
for
what those
sure.
characters are. It looks
That's
on paper like, oh, this is the most minimal a player could do. But
No.
no, it's a player saying, hey, I'm going to let you give me the story. So here's
Mm-hmm.
my blank slate to enter your world.
Mm-hmm.
no, and it's
And
because of you, clubs, that I'm doing Crump like that, because I'm just like, you know, it'd be really funny if we just had someone so green, he's so nervous at everything he does, and his nervous tick is
that's
just something stupid related to the backstory. Oh, look, I rolled a baker. He just makes bread all day.
Dude,
boom.
I was
Hmm.
gonna bring up Crump when we were talking about Caw, because in contrast to Caw's like 18 charisma, Crump has very bad ability scores. But
I mean, let's not throw me under the bus there,
no,
Gene.
no. But he has something special. He's a fighter, so he gets a +1 to fighting, right? To combat, to attack rolls, that no one else gets because he's a fighter. And he also, you took, because you're level 2, you took the uh you're like a specialist in short swords, so you get
One-handed
another.
swords.
What happened?
One-handed swords.
One-handed swords, right? So you get a +1 or a +2 to attacks to that, right? So you have like a +3 attack, which would be the same as any other non-fighter with max strength. So
Mm-hmm.
so
Oh.
you still attack, like you're a fighter who can only do one thing well, and it's fucking melee attack. And with one weapon, but over time, because you're this blank character, you're the fighter and can theoretically like use magic swords that other people can't. And you're gonna get magic armor that not every class can and
Mhm.
stuff. Like you're gonna become your own thing.
I still love when Caw tried to gaslight me. He's like, "Oh, bro, look at your muscles. You're so strong." I'm like, I have a 13. I don't know where the hell you're getting this information.
You have a
But
13, so
I
you
would
have a
have
plus one
13
against too.
+1. That's a +1 in strength, buddy.
It's a +1 strength. Listen, he's a little toned, but he's not like fucking roided, you
Yeah.
know?
But you know what the
You have a
difference
plus
is, Jasper?
four?
But you gotta stop and think about this. You're thinking of a 13, a +1. In
I'm a
5e
very
terminology, no, no, hear me out. In 5e, a +1 is eh. In Beckme, OSC, and Dolmenwood, +1 at level 1? Come on, bro. That's +2 because you're a fighter.
listen, I'm toned as fuck, but I'm lean. I have a
Yeah.
6
That is
No,
true.
you're
constitution.
trained. You're
You're
trained.
trained. You are
You're
built.
Mm.
You
You
know,
are
and
like
built like
you
this,
are
buddy.
the salt of the earth, Crump. You are
To
not some
to quote
fucking
King,
fey elf.
you looking like a
I am
snap.
the wheat in the field.
Yeah,
You
you're the bread.
you
Oh
ain't
my God,
unleavened.
Jesus is the bread. Jesus is the bread.
Oh
Jesus
my
is
god.
the
Oh
bread.
my, wait, you've been
You know,
playing JoJo's
you know,
Bizarre Adventure this whole time.
oh shit. It's now it all makes sense. Now it all makes sense.
I, I just I just wanted to make a guy who would be ironically just weak. And these
Listen, he's
guys are
not
trying to get
weak.
him to live a little, and I'm like, no, I just want to bake bread, go back home, and like woo one of the ladies in the forest.
Listen, Carl just has the same simple mind as you. He just wants to go home and woo a lady from the forest as well.
Yeah, but you don't want the same women as me. I want the dangerous forest women.
I can introduce you to the dangerous forest women. You just have to introduce me to the well-versed, well-lined pocket women.
Points at Violet. There you go.
Her pockets ain't lined, and she lives too long. I ain't trying
So
to marry
you
somebody that can
dumbass.
live. Exactly. I'm not trying to spend eternity with these people. What is wrong with you? My elf is trying to get the money and get on with his life.
You know what? Go for Odo. There you go.
I guess.
Yo,
I
his
think
name is
so.
Jin, and I needed to change the name, right? So he volunteered to go by his middle name, Odo. But we could have went by his last name, Wanderfoot. And in my mind, Jin, because he's a hobbit, they don't have really names like Jin, do they? So in my mind, I was like, it's short for Jingles. So one day I was just gonna call him Jingles, and that's like how I was gonna rectify the situation.
Please.
And he fucking undercut me and called himself Odo. And I was like, damn, I might want to call you Jingles.
Like, damn it, that would have been funny.
I needed him to be Jingles.
Mongolian jingle bells. You have to call him Jingala.
Come on, Jingles Wanderfoot is absolutely a hobbit.
Oh,
Oh,
100%.
100%.
100%.
And then sounds like, imagine getting assassinated by the the grim assassin.
I know that's why he had to
Jingles
change his
Wanderfoot.
name, right? Like,
What a
Yeah, like-
puss.
Yeah, I would have absolutely wanted a campaign with Jingles Wander.
Yo. If he wasn't a sat, like that's his calling
What
card.
is my
You
last
hear
name?
the jingle
My name
jingle
is-
from the darkness.
Bro, I'm literally fucking Crump Luge Weave.
My
he wants to
name
be like a combat assassin, which is so a pet peeve we can talk about. When, like,
It's true.
people want to like do things outside of like the mechanic of what they can do. It's not really a pet peeve to me because I feel like no, it says what you can do right there. But some people get like I have a friend who we talk about D&D and shit all the time, and he's always like, well, how do you freaking like how do you deal with that? And it's like I just point to the words and say no, it says no.
Oh my yes.
As somebody who absolutely knows that I went through I've gone through character phase crisis. I will call it that.
Mhm.
I think that power of no just kind of resounding in my head because you introduced it not to me directly, but like in terms of DMing when you were talking to me about a situation where you were just like that just doesn't make sense for a character. It's
Yeah.
stupid. I don't like it. No, I'm not doing it ever again.
It's a complete
You know what I'm
sentence.
talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So like, and I thought about that and I was just like, yeah, no, just that makes sense. Like, it should be okay to tell your players no. And as a player, you just need to accept it because to Speedy's point earlier, not to say that we want to flex it on you, but sometimes we have to remind you that in this world, we are God. Like what we say at our table does go. Like we're willing to open it to you, but
yes, like the whole point of collaborative storytelling is basically just yes-anding each other infinitely. But like there has to be the rule of cool only works if it doesn't destroy some other established part of the world.
absolutely.
There is a line that needs to be drawn for rule of cool
'cause
stuff.
As most of you who've played a session with me know, I allow the rule of cool if it goes within the boundaries of not breaking absolutely everything. But if I let that, even if I let that slide, you pitched it to me in such a way, I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I want this to happen because it just sounds cool.
And like if my players and I have been having this conversation because one of the players was like, "Oh, you're too rigid in your thinking when it comes to the game." And all other players are like, "Cause you won't put fucking stupid sci-fi shit in your game that doesn't fit in the rest of the universe." And I was like, "Probably. That's
Before
probably 100% what it is."
Before I head out in a minute, something along those lines is also, it's a thing of something that goes hand in hand with that, in my opinion, is getting your players in the correct mindset to do what they can do properly, if that makes sense.
Okay.
A good example is ironically Shin.
I don't know why it's ironic, but go on.
It's ironic because it's Shin and another player that we have, Jordan. They were playing VTM for I think the first or second time, and his lovely assistant was abducted by the
yes.
and they're like, we have to break into this, what's it called? They had to break into a warehouse. They're like, oh, we're gonna turn off the lights, and they're looking at like the fuse box, like, I don't know how this fucking thing works. And I'm going, hey, guys, just a reminder, you are vampires. They're like, oh shit, you're right. And they go, fuck it, I'm gonna grow claws and cut the power line. I'm like,
Yeah.
there you go.
Well, but and so to bring up that point really quick, to bounce off you. In that moment, I think both Jordan and I wholeheartedly we didn't understand the scope of our power in the world at the time. And when you reminded us you're vampires facing mortals.
I think I worded it to you guys. You are what goes bump in the night.
Yeah. Yeah. Like reminding your players of their ability and agency and capabilities, I wholeheartedly agree is it's a very important point because when you told us that, yeah, we absolutely looked at
My
our sheets and
favorite
just went,
part
"Oh
was
yeah,
Oh
I can
my
run through a whole
god.
room full of people
no.
and shred them."
I wish you were there because the two of them had a quite 45 seconds of pure silence, and they both just went, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, because we went back and read our sheets. We were like, "Oh
We
shit."
because we're in such like my players are in such a dire circumstance right now. We spent time at the beginning of the session reading over everyone's sheet. Like we went around the room and everyone had to read their sheet out because we know people haven't, and it's been 5+ years. Maybe you forgot what's on there. They discovered the party inventory section, so we had to have a chat about what we could put in party inventory and such and such.
I'm
An
not.
idea, Makara. And I
Okay.
realized as you said that just now that they're in their probably not probably 100% the most dire circumstance they've ever been in. We all collectively forgot about our Goliath Barbarian's ancestral guardian's ability. He wasn't there, so it was the rest of us running his character, and we still forgot that he can, block 2d12 damage, which is huge every turn. And Grimjack still hasn't transformed.
Ever?
So
What class is he?
in our game he
He's
is a
fucking Devil May Cry.
yeah, he's a blood of Sparta tiefling. He has transformed 3 times in the 5+ years that we've been playing. He has access to all 3 devil triggers. He has transformed 3 times total. Only one of them was in combat. Not only does he have Devil Trigger, we realized when we were reading his sheet, he has Sin Devil Trigger. He can haste himself, and he still has not transformed. So when
I
you
will
guys are,
say,
as you're having this conversation, we're like, oh, we can transform. I'm like, oh my god, he didn't transform at all.
I think I think my final point before I start to head off because I think I should start getting ready for bed myself too. I think the
Yeah, I'm
last
so
pet
tired.
peeve I have is, and it's one that's formed more recently. You don't get to add items and things to the game without us talking about it prior to you introducing it.
Oh yes.
Okay. Okay. Now it's one thing if you come up with something interesting on the fly and I like it and we start workshopping it in the midst of things. That's one thing. But don't be like, oh, I pull out the hammer of the thunder god. And I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, and you send me this homebrew item you found that's a +6 magic weapon with 13d10. Because I'll be like, that's dope, but you don't have. Again, back to Clubs' point. No,
Mm.
don't bring me the crazy homebrew items you found. We find a lot of cool stuff on this channel and during the stream, and it's stuff that we talk about openly. I think I'm very open when I say that. There's a lot of stuff that I'm gonna say no to.
Yeah.
There's stuff that I would absolutely adapt, but it's adaptation versus just pure copy paste in a lot of situations.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to, and you brought up like some people being upset that there's no sci-fi. I'm sorry that if people are the highest thing you see is somebody swinging around a sword and people can cast lightning bolts, why do they want a gun?
Okay, So very specifically about guns. Dex will back me up on this conversation. We had a conversation at the table where he specifically said you won't even put guns in your world. And I said, there's literally a gun in your inventory right now.
Yeah.
And
Now,
he goes, no, it's not. And then Creepshow Kate goes, actually, I took it from him because he wouldn't use it. And I was like, what?
but no, but like, I'm not talking about like a flintlock pistol that maybe makes sense if you've introduced steam power in your world
Mm.
or like propulsion of some caliber. I'm talking like when a player wants straight up height like kamehamehas shooting out of
Mm.
their
Mm-hmm.
shooting out of a small flintlock pistol. And I'm like, what did you do to get there? How did you
Mm-hmm.
get there? Especially when now if you tell me that you somehow had, because I know Speedy, you've talked about like having a chambered revolver for your Eldritch Blast as a pack warlock. That's flavor.
That's cool.
But that's flavor using a thing that exists with a pack weapon that you can already do in the game.
Yeah.
We love flavor. You finding the obliteration ray gun and being like, hey, we're in the middle, we're on a ship, there's orcs, and they're raiding the ship, and one of the orcs is riding a dragon. And at the start of your turn, you pull out the D46 denebulizer that Marvin the Martian had. And no, we can't do this.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I ain't gonna let this fly. I can't do it.
If it's so sufficiently different from the technology of the world that you would have to make it up, I'm 100% okay with your character, going to work, like making
Mm,
that up. But it's going to take time. You're not going to
mm,
instantly come up with it.
mm. All fine points.
Okay, I will caveat that with if it's a wish spell, but it's probably going to monkey's paw you.
Faster. And even the wish spell has restrictions. So
Yep.
they gave it restrictions because quite literally, it's the most powerful spell
You know,
in the game.
I want people to use it responsibly though, and so I don't have to monkey's paw it. Like personally, I
Mm.
want to grant you like your free level, your free use of a spell or whatever is outlined, in the like these are ones that people can do without you fucking with them. Because I have
Mm-hmm.
that in the game that we play. I would love that, but I doubt people are gonna use it for that and not some kind of shenanigan.
Yeah. Like the whatever
Uh-oh.
the mass cure wounds it gives you.
Yeah.
That sounds fantastic, but your players aren't going to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's helpful.
I will say, counterpoint, monkeys pawing your players is hilariously fun.
Yeah, but I don't
Yeah.
like gotcha stuff. I don't want to gotcha people. And like, you're right.
Listen, and
There's
I
something
completely
to it.
respect that, but my players are gremlins and fuck them.
Okay.
Each player, I think you do have to respond to each table accordingly sometimes.
Yeah, like I'm not monkeys pawing DM Bacon. If he comes up with an idea, like when we made the items, he had fully fleshed out ideas that he thought about. His items worked. They worked to the best of their ability. We keep having this same argument about how he made a shield that should have been immune to fire because that is what he pumped his blood into the Forge of Souls for. However, that shield was used to block the fire of a primordial being, and now that shield does not work as it functioned. They're like, well, but that's what it was for. And I was like, do you think this level 4 sorcerer's magic is more powerful than the being that technically spawned them?
Yeah, it
Now,
literally absorbed one big blow and went inert. I think that is entirely fair.
I will say something that I did myself that you are all going to go, what the fuck was your DM thinking letting you do this? It worked, by the way. I crafted, in the vein of Percy from Critical Role, the bad news rifle. but I crafted my own, and we had a literal montage of the entire party doing different parts of building it. Like I
Hmm.
was physically building it. We had an artificer who was helping me build like the parts and infusing it. We had the cleric who was like imbuing it with like the magic of her deity, and then we had an assassin who's like fine tuning the instruments with his extremely high dexterity.
That's
So you
cool.
had
I'm with you.
creative
So
action.
basically, and the way I worded it to the DM so that A, he would let me have this thing, B, just to make it obnoxiously funny, is it had a misfire score of 13,
Oh.
but I had a D100 damage.
That's did it take magazines or clips?
No, it did
Okay.
it because the artificer infused it with infinite ammo.
Oh. I don't like that.
Oh yeah. And you know what the first thing this thing got to shoot?
What would have been your
The
BBEG?
artificer who got polymorphed.
Oh.
And
no.
I unfortunately crit and then rolled a 98 on the die.
Oh.
So you killed him.
Yeah.
He lived. He lived.
What was he polymorphed into?
I think he was a giant statue.
The nonsense
okay.
of that was so wild. The nonsense of that was so wild. Clubs had to go. No, I'm just playing. Like that's too much. Nah, no.
Listen, it was utterly hilarious, but I broke the gun 3 times because the misfire score was so high. And
Okay,
I
good.
worded it, and I looked at him. I'm like, listen, if I roll a natural anything on the die under 13 naturally, that shit breaks. Because this is
Okay.
going to be busted if I roll anything higher than a 20 on the damage die.
That's fair.
Hmm.
That's fair. Okay.
I was at least fair with it. I'm like, listen, I want something obnoxiously broken for the absolute shits and giggles of it, but I want it to break just as easy.
I have seen items like that created where like it's got a 17 to like you need to roll like a 17 or higher to like activate its effect. Anything below it fails, and if it hits a certain threshold like 3 times, it shatters. I'm okay with that because I think there's some level of your player really needs to think about that,
Mm-hmm,
kind
mm-hmm.
of.
Because
Like a
I did
horn of
this.
blasting and stuff like that. Like those are OD. I think D100
Yeah.
damage is OD.
Yeah.
But
I just wanted it to be funny. But yeah, I did
oh,
this
yeah, I get it.
with me communicating effectively with the DM, like, hey, I want to do this. He's like, no, you're not doing that. I'm like, okay, cool. How about this?
Hmm.
Like, I worked it with him, and then I had it like, hey, listen, what
Yeah.
if we did like a training montage of us all building the gun together? That way, at least it's powerful enough where 4 level 15 characters are building this thing.
But that all to me sounds again, like I said before, you worked with your DM.
Mm-hmm,
You got at the end of the day, as crazy as it is, and you guys are level 15, so you guys were pretty damn powerful already. Let's just be
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah, this is also the man who let me have a lightsaber made from the horn of my deceased sister that I beat in a fight. And if I rolled I said as a joke, and I regretted it instantly, that if I roll a d20 and on certain rolls it just makes different noises from like the screams of the damned when it gets turned on. And on a nat 1 it like sexually moans, and it happened 3 times in a row. I'm like, fuck.
Well,
I got sliced by
yes.
how edge that was.
Yeah.
I want
Yeah,
you to know,
listen.
the
That
edge
that
was
character
so
was
deep,
meant
I
to be
got
a
touched.
really shitty. Ironically, this character is meant to be a really shitty Dante from DMC ripoff, and then it turned out to just be edgy as fuck me, and it was bad.
Listen.
Do you
But
want?
listen, we rolled up to the final. Imagine rolling up to the final boss of like the Mad Mage in Waterdeep, and you just hear a lightsaber go, "Ah!" You just moan.
First off, your noise
It's
gate
so
kicked in.
funny that
I'm
it
so
got
glad.
cut off.
Yeah.
Because you started
I
the
know.
noise and then it got cut off. That's fantastic.
Also, you having a character without some over dramatic sense of additional flair for the flair and the drip would not be a character made by you. So
Unfortunately, you
True.
don't know me like that, because unfortunately, I go for the flavor, and I will fuck around and find out.
oh, I know you will. Oh, I know you. You forget I've been playing with you for years now too. I watched what you do.
I'm not apologizing for anything I've done in the past to you.
I'm not well, except for the time that you tried to sell my soul.
No, I'm sorry for Jordan.
Ooh.
Double touche. Double touche. I was gonna not revive you, so that is fair. Um, but to that point, folks, I haven't done it all stream, so I have to do it before we end for the day.
Oh, that's true.
Folks, if you've enjoyed listening to us shill go completely off topic as we always do,
Yeah. We only
because
got
we
through
touched
one
on
point, and I'm happy with it. But it really was actually
I don't
like
even think we got through the whole
6 or
point.
7 points.
yeah, I think we had like 7 points. It's just we put 1 point on the screen.
Yep.
Uh,
I could have also
maybe,
put in there like being nice to new players and other things, yada yada.
yeah.
Probably better.
And I think there are certain things that come like standard, like you just said. Don't be mean. Don't lunge at other players. Don't invent madness. Don't purposely derail your GM. Just basic. I think a lot of the don'ts and pet peeves we have are things that,
Basic human etiquette.
yeah, basic
Yes.
human etiquette, but also remembering that you, the player, and the DM are not against each other. We're
Mm.
working together. So like,
It's not players versus DM. It's a
oh,
collaborative storytelling game.
this is so PvE. You literally guys are facing the environment. I simply created the environment, but not to kill you, for you to explore. It's just like any environment. There's dangers.
Mm-hmm.
How you handle them, what you encounter, all happens at random.
I think the way I describe it to my players now is I don't hate you. My dice hate you. I don't control my dice.
Dice are like cats. You never truly own them, but you do collect more over time.
Mm.
Yeah, this is true. I now have 3.
Enjoy your
I got
cats.
4, technically. Actually,
Oh,
no, I don't
God.
technically have 4. I have 4.
Oh God. Oh
I
God.
am the cat father.
Okay, so I realized something talking to Awaz yesterday. We already have the poll done for next week's episode because we did it before we took our break.
We
However,
did.
this means I get to put up a new poll, which means potentially we can start getting 2 weeks ahead if we keep this
Whoa.
up. And that means I could
Whoa,
just
whoa.
keep pumping stuff out ready to go. And I'm okay with that. So, I'm going to release the new poll for y'all. Okay? I'm going to release
That's
it.
great.
But this poll is actually for the stream 2 weeks from now because we already know that next week's stream is going to be subclasses.
Yeah. It's true.
So,
It's
if
Can't
funny.
wait for when we do a stream where we just have to entrust chat to give us roles and we have to try to enact a scenario in said fashion.
Listen,
no, go
I'm
ahead.
fully prepared. I was gonna say I'm fully prepared for people to throw words at me if I have to dictate what it does for my
So
character.
it would be essentially just like us playing a game of Enclave, but it's just, hey, listen, they give us the scenario, and then they pick a character for us, and then we randomly pick a DM, and they just have to deal with the shenanigans afoot.
Ooh,
I
so
still have all the focus
And whoever
words
gets
that you
picked as
guys
the
gave us
DM, their
before.
character they made is just a DM PC.
Hmm.
Huh.
Hmm.
Why do I hear growling? Shut up.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Something to think about. I wanted
A
to
little
tell
bit
Clubs.
Improv for the viewers' entertainment.
I wanted to tell
That's what
Clubs that like what he was saying when your character like stays in their character and like you guys all know how his characters play. I was gonna say, in our game, his old character has always acted just as Clubs played them. Where like my favorite mannerism that I took from Clubs is that when he plays his characters, and almost all of them, they all have this quality where when they get surprised or anxious, they like speak with rising intonation, and they almost always repeat themselves 3 times, like guys, guys, guys. And for the first time ever in our campaign, it just so happens to be because he currently is interacting with Cryonax. He stopped talking like that. And all my players are like, oh no, whatever is really in that body is talking now. Like, this is terrifying.
My favorite one of his mannerisms as a player was when I withheld the information from all of you about your secrets for our Star Wars one shot. And he was genuinely like, guys, why the fuck are we not leaving?
I know,
Let's get...
I love that he's such a good player that he was so mad as a player that he was stuck there, and then at the end he was like, no, that
And then the
makes
moment
total
it clicked
sense.
for him, he's like, you know what, I'm not even mad anymore.
Yeah. I was like, that's amazing, because my players are not like that. They're going to
He
make
literally
you...
went after, he told me afterwards, like, how you handled that ending, fucking thank you.
My players are going to
He's like,
hold that
I
over
was
my head for
mad, and
quite a
then you
while.
explained everything, and he's like, you bastard, I understand now.
Like, wholeheartedly agree with the you need a decompression session after your sessions.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm
You need to
100% for that.
decompress. You need to talk about what happened, whether it's offline, whether it's in a chat, whether it's in person. Just a few minutes, and it helps us as DMs as well to know where you had fun, what to adjust, what to do going forward. Because as a DM, maybe it's an unspoken rule, but you gotta be, you gotta accept that your story's not perfect, and that's
Mm-hmm.
okay. Like, I know we all want to write George R. R. Martin, J.R. Tolkien, fucking C.S.
Brando
Lewis of the world.
Sando.
Yeah, like we want to write high fantasy as a DM. That's kind of what we start to get into it for because we're like, yo, we've got ideas. But we also accept the fact that like our ideas are wacky and completely potentially only cool to us.
Mm-hmm.
So like
Yeah.
help us out. Help us out. We are pitching it to you guys with the same fear you guys have going into it.
Mm.
It's a scariest situation for all of us. So the more communication we have, the better it is for us as a whole. And the better we can as DMs and players get along and build a better game.
Mm.
Like we need you guys. As much as we're gods of the game, we're gods need prayers.
Yes. Yes.
So if we don't got believers, we're just gonna fall straight into existence. Boom. That's my line of the night. Now I'm just playing.
I like that.
Gods need prayers. Now I'm just like,
How we get
we
our
lost it.
powers. It's like the Forgotten Realms. You have to believe in us in order for us to have power over our portfolios.
Cleric and a warlock need deities or patrons.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's all the same interconnectivity. Help us out.
Mm-hmm.
Pillars. I gotta bounce.
Later,
That's all for
DM
now.
Speedy. Thank you for joining,
Not
as
DM
always. Okay, so I'm gonna post the topics for. Oh, I wrote next week's topic, but it's actually 2 weeks from now's topic. 2 weeks from now's topic. If you're new to how this works, essentially, we're gonna post a poll with 5 options. And if you're on YouTube, I'm just writing it in the description. You have 24 hours from when this stream ends to put in your votes. That doesn't mean you can't put them in right on the video. You 100% can. You can write them in the chat right now on YouTube. If you're watching this as a VOD after we've streamed it, totally put it in there. Come on to the Discord. It's super easy to get there. You can just hit !Discord. If you're on Twitch, for the next 10 minutes, there is a poll open that will let you vote right in it. If you miss that, totally fine. Don't even worry about it because you still have 24 hours to hit us up. You can find me on Twitter. You can find most of us on YouTube. You can find us in the Discord. Just come on over to the Discord and post your vote in Tabletop Schmabletop. And we'll put out what the next episode is. Next week will be subclasses, though. And we have a pretty good grip on how to do subclasses. So generally speaking, it's one fully fleshed out subclass, and then one just here's exactly what them powers are subclass.
And sometimes, and I think that second part, I think we kind of also realized is like the if we have time, because I think sometimes we get zealous. I think sometimes we do get zealous.
Sometimes we try to do 2 of the ones that are fully fleshed out, and then it hasn't really worked for us in the past.
Yeah. No more empowered.
Definitely not.
Never doing the empowered again. Hell of a start. But I realized one of my other pet peeves, Okami.
Oh.
People who have not gone and done what the disembodied voice of DM Lakar would ask them to do.
Where are you at, girl? Here you are.
Hit the buttons. Do the thing. If you have money, make the buttons give him money. If you don't have money, just hit the buttons that subscribe, and that also gets him money. So you get to feel good either way.
Thanks, DM Lakara. Even when you're not here, you're here.
At all times. But seriously, hit buttons, show your appreciation. Okami brought us all together to bring you this stream. We're constantly trying to improve things, get better with it. We have the Redbubble shop, which you can find. I forget what the full link is, but I know Okami's about to drop the link right now in the Twitch chat with the donation point for their shop, Redbubble shop. Check out the cool designs out there. We have a lot of cool options out there. AWAS can verify for you, as AWAS is, and quite optionally probably would be the first actual WoW for everything in our shop, having owned I think just about everything.
100% true.
Yeah. So, speak to brand ambassador AWAS.
I'm a brand ambassador and QA, man. Basically, this just tells me once we have our studio up and running and what have you, like AWAS, you're gonna be the first employee. I want you to know that.
Yeah, basically, help us get there, and help us continue to support what Okami does, because he does put out great work. And when he's not calling us together on a Monday night to talk about D&D, he has a lot of cool stuff that does happen throughout the week and throughout the month in the Okami Gakure Discord. So give it a click. I'm in there. You can find me.
Yeah.
I'm Shin in there. I go by Shin in many places. And you can also find me separate if you're ever interested in playing tabletop. You can always hit me up. I'm always down to talk about it. Love to talk about it. I will always happily share. And I actually was going to say, I'm also openly looking for people who do art and layout to hit me up, because I am looking to start doing real art for stuff for my works. So
did I send you Casafel's info? Okay.
I think so. Maybe got to double check. I think you did though.
Okay.
If not, I'll double check though. But I am looking for people to help me do art, because ArtNet is still a thing in full production. I am not learning Affinity for nothing, and I also hate Affinity because it took me 2.5 hours to build a table today. Because I learned the hard way how to build a table as an asset. But I can tell you now, I will never have to create a table again.
Ooh, that sounds good.
So the payoff is worth it. And it also gives me a lot of ideas of how to redesign Hardna's look for the official book.
Ooh, it's gonna be pretty.
Yeah. But Okami, where else can they find you this week before we go?
No other streams this week, but at some point this month, I am hoping to take a. Okay, so one of the posts that I made in For the respected hunters out there of you, that's the higher tiers. One of the posts was, I need to clean out the upload schedules. Pretty much any of you who are Twitch subs or are patrons or members at any level get access to the upload schedule. And you will notice that it's not just 2026 because there's still yellow boxes on the schedule which basically say that, oh, I need to make a video that ties into this. I am hoping to spend a Tuesday stream just playing Brace Yourselves, Shell Shock Live, because I never
Whoa.
finished the final stage because it was so ungodly difficult with an unleveled up account and tanks and weapons. I feel like I'm going to just spend a whole Tuesday night sitting there trying to beat it again because I'm going to finish it. I want to do that on a Tuesday. I don't know exactly what Tuesday that's going to happen, but at some point I'll be streaming that on a Tuesday. I did notice also that, as Shin had said before, you can come into the Discord and participate and stuff. The monthly polls are up. There are a lot of people who are voting for doing the thank you stream as Okami Gakure plays Brawlhalla again. Brawlhalla is free to play. If you want to play with us, I think we can get, like, you can get 8 people in a game, I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
If you want to come play with us, come onto the Discord, check the pinned notes in general chat, put your vote in, or come on YouTube, because that poll's there as well, and put your vote in for Okami Gakure plays Brawlhalla, and then come play with us.
I
And you
should
can,
see when we're doing Brawlhalla and see if I can actually join in. It's been a
if
while
we
since I've joined it.
if we don't get to play it as a thank you stream, I'm still looking to get people together to play it otherwise. And, like, who doesn't love a good platform fighter? Like, come on. Come on.
This is true. This is all true.
But yeah. No other streams this week, but there will be content every day. I will most likely continue to upload at least one video or do one stream every day until I run out of notes on shorts. And then I'm just gonna do one upload a week or however much other content I like amass, because, you know, uploading every day is kinda unsustainable.
Kinda?
Kinda. Without a
Just
team.
kind.
Yeah, without a team.
Okay,
Ooh,
okay.
I would also just like to put a huge shout out to Awaz and Dex, who killed the sub goal for Twitch
Thank
today. And we also had
welcome.
Cthulhu as a follower. We're getting real close to that 250 follower mark on Twitch. So
This also
thank
means
you
that
all.
Cthulhu's here and now following me, which means I should be scared.
School. All I can think of is in Smite in Smite 1 when Cthulhu does, like, gives you enough madness and it changes the skybox, and I'm like, ooh, should I stop looking up? Is there gonna be weird stuff up there?
It's like, probably not. No, there's not gonna be some weird. You look up, it's just like, oh no. Oh god. Oh god, it's all the weird things. But Okami, thank you as always for having me.
Very welcome. Thank you for coming, man.
It's one of my favorite parts of the week, where I get to sit down with everybody here and talk D&D shop. Something that I think I'm kind of okay at and pretty good at.
I would say so.
I would say the same for you. So I would say that the two of us are doing fairly well, you know, on the D&D side. I'd say we're
Yeah.
doing all right.
Good night, my friend. I think the poll on Twitch is about to run out. I'm hitting Awaz up. I feel like Awaz is either tending to a horse or fell asleep, and that's totally fine. I'm just leaving the notifications there. I feel like I'm going to start doing that for Fist, because I know that he cannot vote in the chat. He cannot vote on Twitch for some reason. So I'm going to do it for Twitch as well.
Yeah, Awaz will rise from a slumber and quickly click a button before tending back to the mysterious powers of Awaz.
And we will see you all back. The poll just ended. I'm going to type my goodbyes in the chat. Goodbye, everybody. We will see you back here next week. Same Dungeon Master time, same Dungeon Master channels, for for some more subclasses.
We love you, folks, and have a great.
Bye, everybody on Twitch. Bye, everybody on YouTube. I know I will no longer be live. Hey, the notification.